to spoon. You want to know what is happening. All right, so we're here tonight. Again, I'd like to welcome all of you. To make their decision. Yeah, it seemed the previous comments did not go through. But I want to appreciate all of you joining us. So thanks for coming on tonight. This is Spoon Talk. We're live across the Spoon Network. Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1. And on several other frequencies across the country. Thanks to Voice of Liberia for always relaying the program. The host of other stations that will most times relay even without telling us. We appreciate you for being here. Thanks to our viewers, our listeners across Radio Land, our viewers across social media. I want to welcome all of you tonight to this edition of Spoon Talk. My name is Nelson Colette, and this edition of Spoon Talk promises to be very, very engaging. We ask you to kindly share the show across your different social media handles. It doesn't matter where you are joining us from. And let's have a great show. It promises to be good. A great conversation coming on tonight. And the best you can do is to stay with us, share the show. Let's have a great time tonight. Well, we're going to go to the phone lines as we always do. Take your phone calls. We are starting late due to the National County Sports Meet, as most of you are aware. We've been carrying it live on our social media handles. And so we had to, follow up with that, make sure that we can conclude with that coverage. And so we're bringing you the program at this time. But I want to say thank you for joining us. Thanks to the many of you who are here with us tonight, starting the show. We ask you to keep sharing the program as we have the rest of the folks coming on tonight. So we'll go to the phone lines, take your calls, 0555-101075. I know the people from Grand Cape Mount County are going home on a sad note tonight, 1-0. The loss to Nimba County. The GB, the big part of GB that went to SKD Sports Complex today, came back very heavy, while the Kassawa League went dry, very, very dry. I don't know what caused the Kassawa League to go so dry like that, but, that's part of the game, and, yes, someone has to win, and so this is where we are. So welcome. Let me appreciate all of you joining us tonight. Call me now, 0555-101075. As we always do, tell us what's on your mind. What is it you want to talk about? Is it about politics, the county meet, health, education? You want to talk about the economy of the country? Just anything that is of concern to you. You have the opportunity to do that tonight. Call us again on 0555-101075, and you'll be live on the program tonight. Hello, your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good evening to Spoon FM family, and good evening to my peace-loving people in the Republic of Liberia, and good evening to you, brother Nurse.
Yeah, just go to the point. My man, forget about that long good evening there. Okay. Good evening to you. Just go to the point.
Once again, back to the Spoon Network talk show, the beautiful Saturday evening.
Efanso, what's on your mind?
What on my mind is this. I want to speak to Jose Nyuma Boaka and his entire government, headed by him. Liberia is a country of law. We have organic law governing our country. We have constitution amendment. And we have people who have such of characteristics that is not reputable for us as a nation. And now we are getting closer to the SONA, the State of the Nation address. If President Boaka did not ask Olu Ola Rekenameku to distinguish himself on the post of the speaker position, we will speak and we stand with our very law, our very consequences, and to buckle the SONA, because this country is a country of law.
All right, thank you very much for your input tonight. Hello, your name and where you call from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Adama Tanya, President Joseph Waza.
Adama, it's good to have you. What's on your mind? Let's hear you.
All the people that can is still supporting the government. President Joseph, I came to for our record million voted the paper which my follow for agriculture. Now, from the time I see nobody on the social are very interested in agriculture. So let me buy the Adama can get the work so one color or two colors say nobody, hey, Yagazi. I mean, Damo, Yagazi.
This is David Nelson here. David Nelson.
And I think that somebody on the show are very interested in agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your input. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, Brother Nelson. This is Brother G. asking where they're calling from PG Ibitobo.
Yeah, go ahead. What's in your mind, sir? Let's hear you.
Yeah, I hope you are listening. You know, this top show you people are making like CDC and UP show now. I mean, every topic you are saying that is CDC. We are now going to election. So I'm appealing. Let us discuss the government of the country. Have press. Yeah, Honorable Carol Gray talking yesterday. They must bring they can't debate UP and CDC. What we debating on when government is going on? Let's work for 2028. Then you can have your debate. So back let us discuss the growth of this country.
Thank you.
Bazooka to go to the front, it will not get the country. It is a God of the million times. It is the country we offer. So let us talk peace, let's work with the government.
Thank you for your input. We appreciate you tonight. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, good evening, Nelson.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Nelson Aturi.
What's in your mind?
I just want to thank the president for his hard work done in this country. So those who are talking to black, and then I just want to say many thanks to His Excellency President Joseph Jima Boakai. That wishing many more development to come in this country.
Thank you for your input tonight. We appreciate you. I see Wanto has joined us.
Nelson, what's up?
It's good to have you on.
Very great to be back. Today looks exciting. I think I gotta get a few chances to go wear my yellow. Since it's yellow machine day today.
Yeah, yellow day, but you should have worn the yellow, man.
No, I'll put it on very soon. Very soon I'll put it yellow on.
Somebody said to see you wearing yellow shorts will come on to
it is very interesting.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the conversation now. That's taking over the social media everywhere. The yellow discussion is going on. Mr. George, Dr. George, welcome.
Nelson, thank you. Good evening to you and good evening to 12312.
Good evening.
Good evening to our viewers and listeners on the Different Spoon Network and on YouTube and Facebook.
Yes, sir. Good evening to you. I thought you were coming in with a yellow as well.
No, that Wanto made that statement that he wanted to be in yellow. I'm only praying for my brother Akaros because Cape Mountain has suffered a loss today in the county meet. So I just hope he's doing well this evening. Hope he will be able to come on the show. I want to congratulate Wanto and Nima Kante for winning for.
Of course.
For the 1-0 defeat.
Interestingly, I'm from both Neymar and Cayman, but I was cheering for Neymar today because Cayman already qualified for semi-finals. So win or loss, it had no impact on Cayman.
Oh, which one are your parents from Cayman?
Mother from Cayman and then father.
Now cook tomorrow.
Yeah, no. The interesting thing about it is that Cayman lost, but then they already qualified for semi-final. So I don't think it has any impact on them at all. So the Akawas is celebrating tonight. That game was just fiasco.
Yeah, so it's a good thing that we're on. We have we were just in the process of taking calls, and we could go ahead and take a few more calls while we await the CEO to join in. I see our guest is in the background as well. So I'd like to take a few more calls and then I'll come back to you once we get set up. I see Mr. Jerry in the background as well. But let's take a few calls. 0555-101075. Hello, your name and where are you calling from? Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. What command is about our speaker. Yeah, the problem that our speaker have put this country in is a very serious problem. This is someone who will say that it's my own business, but it's tarnishing the character of this country, nationally and internationally. It's very bad. So, so you will the president again is report. Is he going to remain there? No, he will not be there. It will be confusion. He will not be there. Then the president say you're going to deliver his address to him. It will not be comfort. Then the president see into it that they mention resign. Then he leave even there. That's my be in charge until the annual report can be given. But,
hello, Edima, where you call from? Let's hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. It's good to have you on.
Thank you. Sekou is a member of United Party in the Area Bureau in the community.
Sekou, go ahead. Let's hear you.
I want to talk to now about to my government official there. I beg you. I beg them, please. One of how Samuel D. Kekua last year encountered incident that he will bring more money for also took money for him. Kekua is one of the United Party that someone one thing about Kekua business, why up to now, he can't even look at the uncle faces this. Uncle that once he
hello.
Based on that, the United Party, you know, the none of the uncle.
Let make progress. We'll let them know.
Almost 2,000.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nelson. Well, yeah, I meant the more. I'm making very, very salient point. We appreciate his call in, but we got to have a show with the chief, Igbe, Oga. You know, like bro, we say Oga, right? Emmanuel, how you doing? Gibson, Jerry, how you doing? Nelson Colette. The big Grand came out today. I feeling so bad, man. Hey, y'all gonna let Jeremiah win the election, win again? How can the vice president? Listen, I think they cheated Grand Cape Man, Nelson. I think they cheated Grand Cape Man. How can Nima win Grand Cape Man?
That's serious problem. Bring you so.
No, I believe we're five protests. We got Jeremiah Kante. We're five protests. I mean, what? Did Jeremiah come talk to the coaches and he talked to the yeah, Gibson, something in this thing. I can't understand Gibson.
That conspiracy theory there, you was not you are looking your conspiracy theory, Leo.
No, how can Jeremiah win Grand Cape Man? I mean, I suspected something here. Emmanuel, what you think, man? Be clear. I mean, like you from Grand Cape Man, your family people from that side too. What do you think?
What I think is that before you came on, we actually discussed it. It's insignificant. Cape Man was just practicing and going the semi-final. So
Cape Man already qualified, right?
Yeah, for the semi-final. So it was just a practice section.
Cape Man saw the game there. I changed it around. Cape Man saw the game. No, Cape Man saw the game.
No, Cape Man practice.
But Stanton, you don't know about Cape Man boys. They never serious about it. The only thing Cape Man boys can be serious about, they let her dress fine and change women. That's all they know. They don't know how to play soccer. Then why are you wasting your time with Cape Man?
Cape Man saw the game.
You're talking about your experience in Grand Jida, right?
They want to put like a big Nima like Grand Jida in the final. But
see,
it just like Grand Jida.
The commenters can be so interesting. You see this guy, Terry. Terry said more.
No, I think Cape Man saw that game. I think they did. I thought that, but listen, I think they did. But it's so well though. On the serious note, so it doesn't mean that Nima is qualified now, right? That's it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so Nima is qualified. As
no, they're not. They got another game. Nima got 4 points.
Yeah, Nima will have to meet is it Bonk? Yeah.
I mean, you don't know about the game, man. Leave me alone, man. You don't know about the game, man. I say people finish saying again, they say they qualify. You don't even know if they qualify. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spoon Talk. We got the Barman Shanghai Gibson Jeru. We got the Dr. Emmanuel GK. Emmanuel, what your GK stand for? Gorbachev? I mean, I try to figure something here. What did GK stand for, Emmanuel? Then we got, I was going to the barbershop, by the way. I said, no, I got to do this show because we got a guest coming on. And don't forget, we have another guest coming on, the former Defense Minister of Mord, Samuka, former Defense Minister. It's going to be a big show. He will be in studio. I'm hearing that Unity Party refusing to accept Brandon Samuka as the man going into the 2029 election for the senatorial race. I don't know if they don't trust him, right? But that's what I'm hearing. If they don't carry Samuka, who will they carry? Because Joseph Jara, Councillor Jara, I don't think Councillor Jara will win 2029. Number one, he's a sedition. Number two, the papa is me. I'm hearing that people in Lofa say the papa is me. He can only go there 3 times a year. Christmas, July 26th, and his traditional day. You cannot be a senator for the people county and visit the county 3 times a year. You can't. I mean, and the people are angry with him, but I'm a papa. I always talk to him. But then Thomas Fada saying that, they don't, he's not feel welcome. That Thomas Fada said he doesn't feel welcome. And, Unity Party people are welcoming him. So what's going on? But we got Mr. We were discussing, we're going to spend 1 minute. My Uncle George Tarawola, it's good to see you, Fede Bala. Thank you for joining us. Xavier Tony Harris, as always. Tony Gamuyu, Eugene Jabor, Daniel Duadu, it's good to see you. Angela Smith, Emmanuel Saki. Emmanuel Saki, Emmanuel Saki, they arrested in Minnesota. By the way, they arrested one Emmanuel Saki, but they let him go. Terry Vanny Collins, as always, it's good to see you. I call my man Fede Bala name. Don't forget, tomorrow is a day to go to church. You must go and celebrate to the goodness of the Lord. And tomorrow will be a wonderful day. Gibson Jerry, he doesn't go to church. He's not a Muslim. He doesn't go to church. I don't know what Gibson fit at, but we're trying to sneak it in heaven. Somewhere, somehow. Wanto, he's out of Liberia after meeting the love of his life. He saw that video. But I will say to all of you, Emmanuel George, I'm not picking on you today. I want to leave you alone because you're family member. I don't know what you're doing with Ellen Johnson at a party. You get your number and they get telling around. She was telling me, she said, the man gave me her number. I said, you said she met you, but you gave your number to her. She told me. But I leave that one, your family man. Ladies and gentlemen,
we did not exchange numbers. So
that's true. She didn't give you a number, but you gave your number to her. So you didn't exchange number. Guess who you hear it, man? You hear it, that up?
Only one person performed the normal part.
That one was traffic. The man gave it north to the guy, but
there was no exchange. One went and the other one did not come.
None of us we did not share numbers.
My man, you follow this out. We take your friend word. But I want to say to you, today is Kef Ahmed Hassan's birthday. Please reach out to our brother Kef. We'll put his picture up. Happy birthday to CDC Kef Hassan, and we wish him Godspeed. To all of you that joining us, let's have a wonderful show. We have the chief, the Igwe, the Ogai, the Ogani, the Koin Shedu address. Hey God, I hope I pronounce the guy name good, man. I'm going to slaughter this thing. But again, we'll be bringing him on. Who is he, Emmanuel? Bring us up to speed before we bring him on. Who is Chief?
Okay, Alhaji Shuaibu Idris is Idris Shuaibu is the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Consultant of Timeline Consult in Nigeria. He has vast experience in the investment sector. He's an international financial investor, a product from Harvard Universities and University of Cambridge, along with Bayero University in Nigeria. So he also in the political landscape asked his permission. He said we can talk about it on the show. He supported President Joseph Boakai in the last election, so he familiar with Liberian politics. But he's coming to talk to us on how the African financial sector fared in 2025 and what we can look out for investment in Africa in 2026. So he's going to be here for the first hour of the program, and then we'll allow Gibson to go into his political talk that he came on the show for tonight.
You know, you guys doing extremely well, and I should appreciate you and the councilman Winfred Russell from Brooklyn, the former councilman, by the way, from Minnesota, USA. You should understand that bringing in different nationalities within the ECOWAS belt is very, very important, and we are learning a lot. So, you know, it's a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to have all of you. We're going to welcome the chief himself, Chief Shaidu Alhaji. He will introduce himself, and let's just listen, asking about questions as we now move on with the show. Welcome to the show, Chief Shaidu. Address. They would say Ni or Mini. I don't know how you pronounce the last name.
MNI. Just call it MNI.
MNI. Okay.
Yes.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you on Spoon Talk. Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Let me try to make it easy for you. Just call me Mr. Idris.
Idris. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to have you, Mr. Idris, all the way from Nigeria. You understand that we all on the show, link Liberians, American, Liberians, but we are all part of the West African community state. It's good to have you. This is the Spoon Talk. We want to ask you some questions, and we want you to share your knowledge with us as we have a great discussion this Saturday. Welcome to Spoon Talk.
Thank you, and to those of you in the United States of America, I would say good afternoon. To those of us in the west coast of Africa, it's good evening. You're reading me live from the seat of the caliphate in Nigeria called Sokoto State, and that is the capital of the state is Sokoto. That is where we had the great Usman Danfodio that had his dynasty here. So I came in yesterday from Lagos. I had an event, incidentally, something similar to what you guys are doing. There is a radio station called Vision FM. We have about 10 states, or 10 locations. We had the 10th anniversary of the opening of the station in Sokoto State. So I came in for that as one of the directors of the media house that owns the stations. Once again, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Mr. Idris. Are you bringing along someone else? I'm seeing one, Mr. Peter Ivan. You bringing him along? No?
No,
Okay.
I'm coming alone, except if you are asking me to bring in another
Since
party.
in the back, I'm not recognizing the person, and I thought he was coming along with you. So bring us up to speed, Manuel. We heard that Mr. Idris, you follow Liberian politics, and by the way, though, you supported this President Joseph Yumambwaka, doing his campaign for the presidency. Am I correct?
Yes. Papa has been, our daddy. I had a chance to meet with him when he was the vice president to, the lady. And we struck a bond of friendship, and I have been relating with him and a few of his relations. And sometimes, knowledge and experiences of the African continent, in particular the West Coast, permeate. So we have opportunities to exchange ideas and to offer hands of fellowship and friendship, because progress is camaraderie. When you join hands together, like the saying goes, together you move longer rather than, faster.
So you follow him since being vice president for 12 years. Did he reach out to you? We'll talk about your business idea and the climax and everything else. But let's talk about, you supported him for this 2023 election that just went by, right?
Yes, I did. You know, like I did say, when he was vice president, I was then managing director, chief executive of Dangote Flour. Of course, some of you may have heard of the conglomerate in Nigeria called Dangote Group. I used to be the group treasurer and at one time group head of human resources. So while in flour, I was trying to expand the frontier of the market of the flour business and to explore the possibilities of establishing maybe a cement factory, maybe a cement bagging plant in Liberia. Then I visited, Liberia. Of course, there are quite a number of Nigerian banks that are operating in Liberia. And one or two of them said, look, wait a minute. The vice president is a good friend and he's easygoing. Why don't we go to and see him to see what assistance he could give? And lo and behold, I was so amazed, so relatively, I would say, easy to meet. And I went to the office, he welcomed me, I had a cup of coffee. Eventually, we had series of meetings and he was there, always, like I said, war, willing, able, and ready to help the business men and women that might be interested in coming into Liberia. And he did very well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get to start the business in Liberia, and somehow I had to move on. I left Dangote Flour. I even left the Dangote Group for other, interesting avenues. And we kept on the relationship. A number of his, like I will say, distant relations that are still in touch with him. There's a lady called Ethel Kamara. I think she is his niece, and we got in touch, and we still keep in touch because she shuttles between Liberia and the US. And often she was also in Nigeria, and we helped her to start a restaurant business in Abuja. Her daughter got married to a Nigerian. So you could see the bond of the relationship. So obviously, I see myself, a typical Liberian. I really, if I were to be in Monrovia today, I see myself more of a Liberian than even a Nigerian, because I just get on well with, with Liberians. And lo and behold, my path crossed with that of Dr. George in a program sponsored by the then British Council called Interaction Africa. Again, Dr. Emmanuel George came more like a brother with a camaraderie. He was lecturing in a university, and I used to, pay him visit in the university, pick up a topic, some of his students, give them a pep talk, mentoring, or sometimes a subject matter that may be thrown at me. So you can see, if you like, that African brotherhood that is lacking in continental Europe or most other parts of the globe, except in Africa and possibly Asia, where you see, the bond is just connecting naturally. And the idea is, how do you advance mankind? How do you help people to grow? How do you help economies to prosper? How do you fight poverty? How do you fight, side effect of globalization? Name them. So let me not take too much on this subject matter.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again. I think we have a great show today. 2023 election, just to talk about President Boubacar. Have you met him since the 2023 election? Have you spoken to him?
No. We only exchange correspondence. I've not had the opportunity to go to Liberia since he assumed office. But of course, upon winning the election, the normal thing, I wrote a letter congratulating him and with my prayers as well as a few ideas that, I suggest, Liberia may require 1, 2, 3. And believe you me, sincerely, a number of his advisors and ministers have reached out to ask for one form of assistance or another with, teasers or investment link, be it in areas of property development, in areas of mining, in areas of logistics and supply chain. Those are some of the areas that some of his advisors have reached out. And I will say it's still a WIP, as we say in accounting, which is work in progress. So it's still a work in progress. And I have not, like I said, I've not met him. I've not spoken to him on telephone, except the usual courtesies of writing letter and then acknowledging my letter with appreciation for the gesture of me sending him a congratulatory note.
My last question will bring the rest of the guys. Your support, was it just in kind or in financial assistance?
I'm not sure if it will be right to answer that question. There has been a moral support, like I did say. He's a father. So what do you do to a father? If I buy him a piece of cloth, like this, parachute I'm using, is the support to my father. And elders like him, when they bless you, you get the blessing, my brother.
Okay. Are you saying anticipating doing business in Liberia?
Pardon me?
Are you saying anticipating doing business in Liberia?
Honestly, like I did say, I see Liberia as a virgin territory. There are enormous amount of opportunities that are yawning to be tapped. One thing is certain: Nigeria has been passing through a bit of trying times in the last 3-4 years. The insecurity has been so pervasive. The past government of late President Muhammadu Buhari had a bit of opaque economic policies, and the new government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to open up. Exchange rates is now market determined. So there are opportunities. But then, believe me sincerely, as we speak, like I told you, I'm in Sokoto. I left Lagos yesterday. Day before yesterday, I had a meeting with a team of Nigerian guys that we are planning a trip to Ethiopia to explore investment in banking sector in Ethiopia. And we got an invite to say, there are opportunities to pick up significant stake in Ethiopian banks, about 2-3 banks. So again, if one has such invite from Liberians or from Liberian organizations, then why not? If not, I am into financial and management consultancy. So apart from myself being an investor, I also have the opportunity and the chance to reach out to a number of potential investors, be them Nigerians or Ghanaians that could probably explore the opportunities in Liberia. And once such opportunities are being explored, it will be for mutual benefit of the Liberians and the investor. For all it takes, once you get an investor, chances are employment will be created. Employment opportunities will naturally be created. You can't bring John Doe from Mars to come to Liberia and work. So it will still be Liberians working. Number 2, taxes will have to be paid. I mean, I can go on in terms of the benefits of the investment. And it will be good that one has that kind of opportunity. The beauty part of it, of what I have seen of recent, is the investment promotion agency in Liberia appears to be doing quite a number of right things. There are rooms for improvement, but I can tell you what they have been doing is comparable to quite a number of other African countries, or even Latin America or Asian countries that are trying to woo investors into those countries.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Address. Again, a lot of people sending me questions. We'll get to it. Let me bring my colleagues on to ask you. You're always welcome to join Spoon. We're going to get into Liberia, get into Nigeria. Folks want to know more about you, want to know why you left Dangote. I want to know what you're doing right now and how you can make that, goodness happen in Liberia. Welcome to Spoon Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's share the show. We are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are on the Voice of Liberia, all of the radio stations across the country. Find us on Spoon FM, Fabric FM, Super FM, and all of our many, many relays. Again, this will be an interesting program. We want to say thank you for joining us, sir. I'm going to bring in Mr. Gibson, Jerry, 12T12. Then we'll bring in Emmanuel G.K. George. Mr. Gibson.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, thank you very much. Which state are you from again? Sokoto?
Yes, you are reading me live from the seat of the Caliphate, Sokoto.
Seat of the Caliphate. Okay, I like that. Look, first of all, say hi to all my guys there. I am happy that you are talking to us. It's good that you talk to us. You are a financial expert. I want to ask you a little question. You work with Dangote, so you must be rich. Are you rich?
I will tell you, I'm wealthy. I'm not rich, but I'm wealthy.
Okay, that's good.
I bless God.
So have you tried finding one company or individuals that you started consultancy for? You talking to, helping them to grow their business, their financial well-being? Have you found anybody in Liberia that you are dealing with right now?
Well, I don't have a client right now in Liberia. I have not gone to Liberia for quite some time. Like I told you, my initial visit to Liberia was a bit of exploration. And I think I have been to Liberia about 4 or 5 times trying to explore one form of business or another. There is one gentleman, that I was a bit close to, almost closing a transaction, and I think a tragedy happened, and the gentleman passed on. I think, if I remember, his name is George Kailando or something like that. He was into oil and gas, and we're really close to, farming up a transaction and involving about 2-3 Nigerian banks, GT Bank, and one UBA, United Bank for Africa, and the George Company. And I think something happened, either he drowned or something mysterious happened. And, yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it was shattering. I don't want my emotions to rise, because each time I remember him, I go into a secluded area and shed tears, because we had vision. We are really looking forward to having an impact, in the Liberian, if you like, ecosystem.
I've always defended Nigerians. I want to ask you this question just from your perspective, and it's not a trick question. Nigerians' effect on West Africa, do you think is more positive or more negative?
I will say it is a cocktail. What do I mean by a cocktail? It's a bit of a menu. Let's look at the positive side of it. When you had your challenges, when Liberia had its own internal, a bit of a civil war, the challenges, Nigeria and Nigerians came to the, to the helping hands, with helping hands to Liberians, and we were able to get the system, if you like, stabilized. When we had ECOMOG doing all that, I mean, no two way about it, Nigeria was there for everybody. Was it in Liberia alone? No. Sierra Leone, Gambia, recently, Benin Republic, even Ghana had its own fair share. Ivory Coast had its own fair share of Nigeria's largesse. Till today, where the government of Nigeria runs a program called Technical Aid Corps, we send our young men and women across the length and breadth of Africa to help either in medicine, teaching, pharmaceutical, name it. I mean, so these are the good sides, of Nigeria and Nigerians within the African, continent, and indeed, in particular, the west coast of Africa. Now, fast forward, you look at the negative side. Every advantage, like the saying goes, has its own disadvantage. Nigeria is about 250 million population. Are we all saints? Certainly no. Are we all good people? Certainly no. There are some criminals, there are some rogues, there are some miscreants. But then, like the saying goes, when a dog bites a man, does that become news? You are journalists, some of you, it doesn't become news. But when a man bites a dog, that is when it becomes news. So when you pick up a Nigerian that is probably a drug pusher, or he does a bit of scam, internet scamming, and what have you, that is when it is magnified, and then everybody thinks, oh, Nigerians are rogues, Nigerians are criminals. But on, say, a scale of 100 Nigerians, chances are, 90% of the Nigerians you will meet are either intelligent, hardworking, intellectually sound, or, people of business acumen and what have you. And let me tell you, a lot of people report about crimes or criminality about Nigeria or in Nigeria or about Nigerians. But as of today, the global headquarters of financial crime is Hong Kong. Who hears about that? The level of crimes that takes place in New York City is 100,000 times than the level of crime that happens in most parts of Africa. Who hears about that? So sometimes the global media, in its effort to make sure that Africans, and indeed and in particular Nigeria, is downplayed, that negative aspect becomes the news and the only news that need to be discussed. Just to wrap up on this subject matter, when late President of America, Ronald Reagan, his life got attempted, he had a bullet in him. It was a Nigerian that did the operation to remove the bullet in his body. Can you imagine that feat? Today, the quantum of Nigerians that are helping in various spectra, there are just too many. I can tell you, some of us are arrogant. I mean, let's not take that fact. Some Nigerians are extremely arrogant. We feel, oh, we are the giant of Africa. Oh, our country is rich. Oh, we are 250 million. Yeah, in every 5 Africans, black Africans, 1 is Nigerian. So some of us are a little bit arrogant and therefore miscreant. But is that a reason why everybody will think that every Nigerian is a rogue or a criminal? Look at what is happening to us today by what the American system is doing. As if we are, the only, citizens that have challenges. What has happened to Eastern Europe, as the Eastern European countries were doing in Europe, Nigerians are doing 1/10 of what the Eastern Europeans have been doing in Europe. I visit Europe often and I see this. But, that is what we are learning to live with, and sooner or later it will end.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Adressa. Now, if you guys just joining us, we have Mr. Shebu Address. Again, it will be a wonderful show. We are talking not only about Liberia or Nigeria, we will be talking about the international system as well. When you talk about job creation, when you talk about changing the dynamic in West Africa or Africa as a whole, exactly these are the kind of conversation we want you to be part of. Let's share the show. Let's make progress. Wanto, let's hear your question.
Sure. Thank you, CEO, for at least giving out a regional conversation. You and Emmanuel. I think this a very brilliant conversation, and welcome to Spawn. I think one of my questions is around the dynamics of fairness in the business market. Obviously, Nigeria is a rich business space with the population on the side of Nigeria in terms of African commodities. But how do you see Nigeria playing a global role in shaping that aspect of market around different other African countries that may not have the larger market than Nigeria?
I didn't get that question correctly, Williams.
The question mainly is around what role can Nigeria play in shaping that market to other African countries that may not have the same market, like Liberia, Guinea, Ghana, and other countries as well.
Let's start this aspect of the conversation on a pedestal that there is no difference whatsoever, howsoever, between a capitalist that is an Indian national, a capitalist that is a British national, a capitalist that is an American national, and a capitalist that is a Nigerian national. Capitalists, wherever we are, what is our driving force? Profit. Now, the world has become a global village, and Nigeria has been a signatory to virtually all, or at least let me say most of the international conventions, standards, and what have you. From my professional calling, for example, accountancy, international accounting standards are common in US, in continental Europe, and in Africa. Environmental standard, is it environmental impact assessment, this and that, sustainability, the global SDG, sustainable development goals. So virtually all of them, Nigeria has signed into it. So the same thing, other African countries, call it Egypt, call it Morocco or Tunisia, or you come down to Black Africa, call them Kenya or say Tanzania or South Africa. We are all signatories to these, global best practices. So obviously, Nigeria and Nigerians have no option than to keep to international standard, be it of accountability, transparency, and sustainability. Let's not forget the fact that, or downplay the fact that as Africans, we appear to be playing a bit of a second fiddle. Today, the Americans and indeed continental Europe after they have deflated, the ozone layer with several, gaseous substances that they release during the first industrial revolution, the second industrial revolution. Now, when we are about to rise and become industrialized, we are being told, carbon emission must be checked. And you look at what China is doing. China is saying, okay, we have had, like they always say, what you Americans think is freedom. In China, we look at it as rascality or indiscipline. So sometimes we have to be careful. Yes, Nigeria being a dominant, country in the west coast of Africa, but the country as it is, the system, the government of Nigeria, we know the limit of what our strength and power can be, and we also know when and where we need to be careful. Even when we were having the chief of staff of, say, Liberia being a Nigerian, or when we had our military guarding some of your leaders, we were not insisting. I'm sorry, I have to be this blunt, but we were not insisting that if we were to go to United Nations and vote this side, Liberia must vote that side. Or even when we were helping Sierra Leone or other countries, we were able to say, yes, we are helping because we are brothers and sisters, but over and above that, we would love that you align your thoughts with us. So we've been a bit fair, I will say.
So my last question is very interesting. So statistically, the combined GDP around Africa is around $2.8 trillion according to 2025 statistics. This means that we have larger GDP than even countries like Italy, but Africa only accounts for around 2.5% of the global GDP. Even when it comes to the growth rate, we are minimum, and it comes to the market system and the role of imperialism, which is very important. Now in our modern term, we say neo-colonial power. The fascinating aspect is that also we don't control the decision-making process in a global market system like the IMF, even the World Bank as possible. They dictate to how policy should be, they dictate to how our spending should be, even international funding also as well. So in this type of scenario, what do you think our market system can be better like? Should we disengage from the IMF and the global market system to create an African framework?
I will think disengaging. I will think disengaging from the international financial system will be catastrophic and could be disastrous. As at today, the mechanism of doing business and the way the international financial system is interconnected and wired, Africa can't and shouldn't disengage unilaterally, because it will be near impossible to succeed if we were to engage, if we were to disengage. I believe the efforts by the BRICS economies, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and the other new allies to BRICS might help in trying to moderate the excessive influence of the United States of America, because virtually every business is, or rather most businesses are being done, through the dollar. The advent of cryptocurrency may also help, African countries to begin to rethink of how best to navigate international financial system. But we have to be careful as Africans. And I'm sorry, I will be a little bit blunt here. We should be ashamed of ourselves, to say the least, that we in ECOWAS, for more than 25 years now, we've been talking about ECOWAS common currency, and we are not making any progress. Now, if I want to buy an item from Liberia, or a Liberian businessman or woman wants to buy something from Nigeria, first, an LC has to be established. The LC will be established in US dollars or in euro or country, currencies that are non-African. And then the LC will have to hit European banks or American banks before coming back to Nigeria. I mean, why should that be? Why can't I, for example, open an LC between, say, a GT Bank Nigeria and even GT Bank Liberia? So we have not been able to actualize the common currency even within ECOWAS speculators of Africa. And the earlier we do this, the better. The great late Ghanaian President Kwame Nkrumah started the journey first of an African Union, African continent coming together. The Europeans challenged him and thwarted that effort. Now, what have they done? They stole that idea. They have now have a European Union. Can you imagine that? Today, with the probable exception of the free movement that I can pick my passport and dash to Monrovia or Accra, the ECOWAS as a community, movement of goods and services is still limited. So African leaders, African central banks, African ministers of finance, African ministers of trade, and you and I that were having this conversation, the academia, the corporate, titans, need to look at this thing and fasten the integration of Africa. And unless otherwise we come together, we will never have a common front that will be strong enough to challenge some of these things. Imagine African countries wanting to buy crude oil, either from Angola or Nigeria or Ghana. They have to go to Chicago Mercantile Exchange to place order. Is that sinful? Is that sensible? When your brother in Africa, a common black man, has it, and you can go direct. So for how long should we continue to be under colonialism? Or if you like, neocolonialism, as people call it. But whether neocolonialism or colonialism is still colonialism.
So I'm going to ask you before we bring in, thank you very much, and I know this will be interesting, before we bring in the former councilman from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, USA, Winfred Russell. Let me ask you, are you blaming the West, or are you blaming us? Who holds the greatest responsibility here in your argument? The American, the European, or ourselves?
Well, on a scale of 100, I will say 60 or 70% of the blame is I will push it to the Europeans. The issue is you've got to understand certain fundamentals. Number one, when I bring you up on your bath, say as a toddler, I teach you how to walk. I teach you how to speak. I teach you how to eat. I'm teaching you how to do this. What are the chances that you will do things different from what I do? Near zero. Now, the Europeans have colonized us politically. They have colonized us mentally. Yes, people can say colonialism ends about 50, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, but that is political colonialism. Until very recently, when the Sahel countries, left the Union of France, Even a central bank to run their economy, they don't have. Today, a number of African countries don't have central banks. They don't even have a currency of their own. So where is the independence? And to worsen the situation, just 1 second, to worsen the situation, even when you wake up, you try to make sure that let me be independent, let the African countries, progress. What happens? Our leaders get killed. Who killed William Tolbert of Togo? I can name names. We are brothers here. I know people are listening. But some of these documents are declassified or they have been declassified. We do know that the interference and the remote control of how African leaders were being threatened and so that they don't do this or that. Remember the story of the African Union, or when it used to be OAU, Organization of African Countries. They were having a meeting, or they were supposed to have a meeting in Ethiopia. During that meeting, the late Gaddafi was supposed to be the chairman because it was rotational. And the Americans and the then European countries like Germany, France, and UK said, hell no. So most African countries' presidents remained in their state capital and said, oh, they are waiting for a quorum to be formed before they got there. Eventually, Gaddafi never got that. So I can continue to give you this example. So 60%, the blame is with the whites because poverty is a disease. And when you are poor and somebody is trying to harass you, he or she will use whatever he wants to give you as a stick and carrot.
So let's stay with Nigeria a bit. Right? Let me push you on this, Mr. Andreas. Maybe 40, 50 years ago, people would say, yes, what you are saying is true, maybe. But now, you have Nigeria. The head of state, born Nigerian, Tinubu. We can go back. You have Liberia. The head of state is a native, right? Jose Yumabwaka. Let's go to Ghana, Mahama. Let's go across West Africa and the entire Africa. Are you saying, for a better word though, are they not that smart to know that they are their own and they can make this decision in the interest of their country and Africa as a whole, but you're going to take 60% of the blame and shift it to the American or the European or the West? Understand this, Nigeria have our own oil, but your people decide to operate and give more of that to the European, to the American. And you're going to blame them? You're going to blame the American? You're going to blame the European? Why not you make your own decision for the better side of a good story for Nigeria? Likewise, Liberia. Why would you say, well, we still on, colonialism and all these things? You talk about Shaka Stephen, you talk about Torbo, you talk about, and you will come as far as Jerry Rowland and all of those people. But the ball is in our court, right? I want you to understand this. The decision can be made today. You work for Dangote, Africa's richest billionaire. I'm reading everything concerning you. What was the mindset of Dangote? Now he's the richest man in Africa. He has surpassed some American and European. Is he fighting for Africa to be Africa and own their own and make a decision that will be benefiting to Africa? What was your advice? Did you sit with him? Did you talk to him on all these one currency issue? What did he say? Let's have some real discussion here. And I want to give you the chance to further explain to us. And a lot of people listen to you, they send me their question because they admire this show and we say, thank you for coming. What do you think? Why blame 60% the European, the American, the Westerners? Why blame them? 60%. George, are we having Mr. Address?
Like he's frozen. Let me get in touch.
Okay. Let's see. Welcome to the show, Winfred Russell. It's good to see you. I think it's going to be an interesting conversation. I'm getting to like Mr. Address, but the discussion, we have to shift it a little bit because Africa is in control of their own sons and daughters, Russell. But his argument is that we are still under, the West, we're still under, colonialism, slavery, mental slavery, corporate slavery, political slavery. What say you, Russell?
Thank you. And Mr. Idris, nice to meet you, and thanks for coming on here.
He's frozen though, that's why we're shifting to you.
Oh, he's frozen.
Yeah,
so,
I can't.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so that's part of what it is called neo-colonialism, because it is something that is not as obvious as the colonial era was. I mean, a lot of the things that they were doing is not as obvious as they are now. So there are a lot of things that are happening behind the scene. I mean, they were still manipulating, they were still controlling. Yes, we may seem like we have full control of our country. It may appear that we have full control of our economy, but behind the scenes, there are a lot of things that they were doing behind the scene that make it where we don't have total and unfettered access to.
I understand that. And people are understanding that, Russell. For us to shift the blame now, and Gibson, maybe I don't know Gibson's position on this, like Emmanuel, who grew up in Nigeria, or Nigerian Emmanuel, I don't know what he would say, right? But let's just go back to the conversation, and I've seen that Mr. Address is coming back on. Real quick to you, how can we change it? The ball is in our court, right? Are you saying that we are so afraid we cannot take this decision? Our leaders are cowards, so therefore they got to bend?
No, I don't think that. But what I'm trying to tell you, I think what I'm trying to say is that I agree to a large extent, but it is not as simplistic as you are making it appear. That is just that is not an issue of just turning on a light switch and turning it back off. It's way more complicated than that. However, I do agree with part of the argument you're trying to make, that we have to hold our leaders accountable. We cannot keep playing the victim and keep finding excuses. I mean, we've had control of our own destiny for a long time. We've had control of our own economy for a long time. But because of some corrupt practices that seem to be entrenched in our various societies and countries, it makes it difficult for us to move forward. And a lot of those corrupt practices.
We got Mr. Address back. You will come next with your question. Okay. It's good to have you back, sir. Are you hearing us?
Thank you very much. I think technology plays its part, so I lost you, but I got part of your question. When you are trying to offer a perspective that should we still be talking about our colonial masters being the architect of our problems? And I think you miss one fundamental point I made earlier on. As long as, for example, we don't have a homegrown African system that we can say this is ours, we will continue to have mental slavery. We may not agree, but I bet you today, let's look at the democracy we are practicing. How African is democracy? What we have been having is elect, regret in most countries. Look at, if you are following what has been happening in Morocco with the African Championship Cup, is Morocco democratic? No. But everybody is talking good about the, Morocco and the system there. So the point is, and I still make bold to state that, yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is our president, Joe Boake, who is your president, Dramani Maman in Ghana, who is their president, they are Africans born and brought up in Africa, so why can't they do, wouldn't they do things differently? But I ask you, which school do they go? What kind of education were they given? I mean, how were they trained? Where did they work? The civil service in Nigeria is still Westminster. It's still Westminster civil service. So, the mental enslavement is still there. I can be a little generous to say 55% of the blame should be the Europeans and 45% the Africans, because we can do even better. But let us pray that our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren will continuously be evolving and evolving and evolving. We will have a better African, a better continent than what we are having today, because then and only then, Africans will be thinking truly like Africans and acting like Africans, as opposed to what we are having today. We have challenges. Like we always say in Nigeria, when I point my finger to you, the rest of the fingers are pointing at me. So I should first think about myself before I say about you. But in this matter, I believe the West has to find a way to let go, because it does not appear to be in their own beneficial interest that Africa should make progress. If Africa were to be making progress, we could have manufacturing companies. If we have manufacturing companies, where will the Western manufacturing companies get their raw materials? If we have lithium processing in Nigeria, if you have, say, a gold mining refining in Liberia, where will those companies in West, in the US and other, part of the West get their raw materials? Chances are, these economies of the West will automatically collapse should Africans and African countries make progress. Do you think France would have sustained its economy over the years without the reliance on the African countries that are being compelled to keep their reserves in the Bank of France, Central Bank of France? Do you think United Kingdom of the Great Britain Island could have developed as much as it has developed if there was no colonialism?
Except our interruption, sir. You are making my point. You are buttressing my argument. Excuse me. Why not your president? Why not your government? Why not your people, Nigerians, the biggest, most powerful African country, try to change this thing? Who's stopping President Tinubu? Are you saying the American stopping President Tinubu? For even, let's address it state by state, country by country. Who's stopping President Tinubu? Are you faulting President Tinubu that he's not doing this thing? Then we get us out of Nigeria. The problem is
I think maybe I'm not able to communicate effectively, but I gave you the example of William Tolbert when he said he tried to liberate Togo from France. What happened to him? Can you remember Siaka Stevens? What happened to him? Can you remember what happens to Kwame Nkrumah? Of recent, can you remember a number of the heads of state or presidents that the West have had to remove? Look at Manuel Noriega. Look at the recent Nicolas Maduro. Look at what Lula da Silva is passing through. The fact, my dear brother, we can't disagree that there is a subtle political pressure from the West to some of these leaders, even when they want to liberate their countries from the shackles of neo-colonialism, as people will want to say. And I call it colonialism because there is nothing like neocolonialism. It's only that, we're using English language to colorate it and say neocolonialism. Colonialism is colonialism. We are still under that shackle, whether we like it or not. But of course, like, the saying goes, economics is a science and it's a science of alternatives. So also is politics, is a science, is science of alternatives, numerous alternatives. But I bet you we can do better with African orientated education, with African orientated political system, with African orientated social class, as opposed to the globalized world. I'm sorry, no insult intended. Look at us Africans. How many of us are dressed as Africans? As the heat in Africa, we still go in shirt, tie, and suits. Is that our dress? The banks are insisting you must dress. The courts are insisting dress this. Isn't that colonialism?
Thank you very much, Mr. Idris. And listen, guys, we're going to have a fun show today. It's good having you. A lot will be discussed today. Our disagreement will be seen. It will be shown, and we'll discuss it. I think Africa have her own problem, and her problem is her people, right? We can speak on it. When we have leaders that have to bend to the Westerners and accept their demands, but we possess the world riches, minerals, resources all over to some extent, and yet still we believe that we should say, well, President Toba from Liberia, yeah, he's from Liberia. He made this announcement. Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, yes, but those things pass. Those things pass. What about you? What about me? What about Tinubu? What about Mahama? What about Jose Imam Bwaka? It is something years old. These are native. The American, they didn't pick them and put them and make them president. The European, they didn't make them. The people voted for them for a better change. So it's their responsibility to make sure that change comes. I'm going to welcome our sister Jackie to the show. Jackie, before we get to you, let me bring in Mr. Russell. Winfred Russell, it's good to have you. Your question or comment for our guest tonight.
Thank you again, Stanton. And Mr. Idris, it's nice meeting you. I'm very familiar with your home state, Sokoto. I spent some time in Sokoto. I was actually living in Kano, but did a lot of work.
Oh, wow.
I lived in Kano and did some work in Sokoto and Kebbi.
Oh, wow.
As well. But all over there. I was in Katsina, I was in Bauchi, I was in, Adamawa.
You see, we have another Liberian Nigerian here, like Emmanuel John.
Were you there as a refugees or what?
No, I just
no.
I just said I
hope you had a good time in Nigeria. The only thing is, in all the places you mentioned, you have not mentioned where I come from, Kaduna.
No. But obviously, I spent an awful lot of time in Kaduna because going to Abuja, we had to get to Kaduna. We did a lot of work in Kaduna. We had an EEOC in Kaduna. So one in Bauchi. We have in Borno. In Abuja, of course.
No, you are a Nigerian. You better come back home.
So but anyways, so I'm
actually we don't want him. You're taking free.
Please come back. Please come back.
I know. I'm there quite often. I haven't been there since last year, but I was there the year before.
Okay.
Case, yeah. So I was there before. So in any case, tell me about your experience in creating jobs. What can you tell us about your experience in putting people to work, in creating jobs?
Is it in getting people to work or in creating jobs?
Creating jobs.
Well, I will say I've had couple of experiences when it comes to creating jobs. Number one, when I was in the banking industry, I did work for Chase Nigeria, and during my banking sojourn, we had opportunities to create a number of outlets. The DEM Bank had about 4 or 5 subsidiaries. It has a stockbroking firm. It had a property management company. It has a mortgage bank, and a number of other, if you like, satellite businesses. Once you establish, a subsidiary, automatically you create jobs because you need to have the paraphernalia of office. Fast forward, I left the bank, I joined Dangote. My first work in Dangote Group was the global head of the human resource of the organization. Of course, guys, you will agree with me. Sometimes you need talent and talent that are not available or readily available within our shores. I used to frequent India, Sudan, and Europe, trying to headhunt and recruit professionals with a view to coming in to get, quote unquote, a transfer of knowledge and or technology. When I joined Dangote, we were bagging cement. And while with him, I was then reassigned from HR to Treasury. I led the team that raised a foreign loan of about $1 billion to start the cement, the first ever greenfield cement of 5 million metric tons, located in Kogi State. Maybe you will remember Kogi State in Obajana. And it was a bare land, and we started from ground zero. Today, that plant is producing close to about 20 million metric tons of cement annually, and it's employing, give or take, 100,000 staff, ranging from the professional cadre to, say, the truckers. You have like 5,000 trucks, each truck having close to about 3 staff manning it and what have you. So there are opportunities of creating jobs, and you can see them. In my consulting business now, I live in Lagos, and I consult for government as well as other corporate entities. The government of Lagos State had what it calls Lagos Investment Trust. And in that investment trust, government put in close to about 10 billion naira. And those monies were targeted to developing micro, small, and medium scale enterprises. And my firm was one of the consultants that was hired by the government to help nurture nano, micro, small and medium scale enterprises. So, if you are familiar with Nigeria, from a plantain roasting woman to bean cake frying woman to peanut roasting and what have you, some of them, the startup capital will be as little as $100, $100 US, and that is more than sufficient enough for a startup capital. So you will see that employment opportunities, quote unquote, at least engagement opportunities are given to people. I feel, a number of states in Nigeria are doing similar. The immediate past president of Nigeria, late President Muhammadu Buhari, had something similar. We had 2 intervention programs. One was called the Trader Money. Market women and men were given an amount of about 10,000 Nigerian naira, which is about give or take, you know, $50, call it $50, but that is more than sufficient enough to propel a business woman into starting something decent in Nigeria. So there are such things that I have come across, both as a white collar jobber and as, you know, an entrepreneur myself. Also, in my small way, in my little way, I have a foundation that I try to incentivize and see, oh, these children, why don't you start, you know, peanut roasting, or cola nut selling, or this or that. So small amount of money. So you can see that there are opportunities, but then, my dear brothers and sisters, poverty is so endemic.
Yep.
And what I always counsel entrepreneurs is, no matter how little, no matter how few, get involved, do the intervention, make it possible so that people can be happy and they can experience your goodness.
Thank you. So, how familiar are you with Liberia's economy, with the economy of Liberia? How familiar are you with Liberia's economy?
I can say I am fairly familiar, largely because Liberian economy is not fundamentally different from Nigeria's economy. What do I mean?
So if you just hold on there for me there, sir. So so you are somewhat familiar. So if you had the opportunity, right, to, in your capacity as a consultant, and you are pretty much familiar with economic processes, financial, the whole financial structure, and the financial governance structure, especially within West Africa, and you're knowledgeable about the economy of Liberia, for example. If you had an opportunity to advise this current government under President Boakai, what would you say to him? What would you say to this government that will help jumpstart the job creation apparatus of this government? What kind of advice would you give this government?
Russell, that is indeed a $1 billion question. But then I'm speaking to you as brothers and sisters, and to Baba, the president of Liberia. I can tell you, if I were to sit down with him, I will ask for fundamentally 3 interventions that should be done urgently. Number 1, the educational system needs to be rejigged. A situation where we are producing children out of schools just to look for white-collar jobs. The era of AI, technology, and what have you, is making jobs extremely difficult to come by. So we need to rejig education with a view to making sure that we are producing graduates that should be on their own. Maybe a look at Japan, a look at 1 or 2 other countries of Asia. India comes to mind, could be good for Liberia. Number 2, what we have been able to achieve in some parts of Nigeria, like I did mention, my experience with Lagos State government, where we had a Lagos Investment Trust Fund And we got a number of, corporate Nigeria to donate money to that fund under their corporate social responsibility. And we had consultants, independent, management consultants to screen and to guide nano, micro, small, and medium scale enterprises, and to also have what we call business opportunities, ideas. I can't remember what we used to call it, but then we had that opportunity where people can come up with any idea. No idea is considered useless. And when we screen it and we see some level of viability, we fund it. Under the Lagos Investment Trust Fund, that is funded. So Liberian president can look at that, and that could easily take out a sizable number of youths that are unemployed and roaming the street of Monrovia and other cities. And last but not the least, is to look at some fundamental economic policies that will entice both the local businessmen and women, existing businessmen and women, and then Liberians in diaspora, as well as other nationals. Because like I did say at the earlier part of the conversation, a capitalist that is Nigerian is no different from a capitalist that is an Indian or Chinese. All we aim for is profitability. So if government comes up with policy that supports, the expansion of existing businesses or attraction of additional investors into the system, that will, reignite the Liberian economy, and Liberia will be great. Those are my three areas of possible advice, but it's just a shallow analysis because of time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to change my location because my battery was getting flat. So you will see that the brightness is not so good, and where I am,
Yeah, we're
So
seeing this.
please-
Yeah, we'll be fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Idris. It will be better that you reposition. Jackie, it's good to see you. A long time, Jackie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Stanton. Hello to all the panelists.
Yeah, we're keeping Emmanuel George for last, the Emmanuel George friend. And I know it would just be all sweet question. But I'm totally on the other side with this thing, Jackie. Africa should be responsible for the rise and fall of Africa. You get what I'm saying, Jackie? It's this. Listen, say what you want to say about, but for us to shift away, and that's why I make the conversation good. So let's see whether you have one or two questions for Mr. Address as we move on with this round. Let's welcome you, Jackie. Then we'll go to Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, and welcome to the show, Mr. Idris. This is a very, very interesting topic that needs to be talked about across all spectrums throughout Africa. We need to talk about more about investment, trade and investment through Africa. I remember when President Nana Akufo-Addo first became president and he visited the various ECOWAS countries. One of those countries was Liberia, and I was at that dinner. I attended that dinner that was held for him, and he gave a speech that that was mind-boggling when he talked about the fact that African countries, the trade ratio, intercontinental ratio was like 20%. And when it comes to the international, it's an 80-20% ratio. And that's very, very scary for modern Africa. today in our geopolitical landscape, a lot has changed. I listened to the exchange, the conversation between you, Stanton, and the rest of the panelists when we discussed the fact that, and we have the debate, who's to blame for Africa's situation? And personally, as a citizen of Africa, I think it's time that we, the Africans, take responsibility, because if you look back at hand from the 1700s even to today, even the United States of America, the Europeans who came over here were colonized by the Europeans, but they were determined to get their freedom. Other countries, the Jews, if you look at different ethnic groups over time that fought to get their independence, yeah, it's true that the Western world, and not just the Western world today, even the Eastern world, has and continue to try to have a hold on Africa. You have one of the famous quotes out there from the then French president Jacques Chirac. When he served, I think, between 1995 to 2007, he had a France-Africa summit somewhere in 2001, where he stated, this was in Cameroon, speaking to other Africans, and said that without France, that without Africa, France will become a third world country. Why is it okay for the countries in Africa to be third world and it's not okay for France and other countries to be third world? I think with the change that's taking place with our geopolitical climate and landscape, 54 countries strong in Africa, 1.3 to 1.5 billion in population, and a youthful population of around 70%. What message to you, Mr. Idris, as a successful business person? You are an icon. You represent success. You represent wealth. You work with the richest Black man in the world. What message should we send out to other young Africans, to African leaders, to us today? That how can we transform Liberia? How can we transform the youth? You as a successful person, there has to be an answer. We can continue. Yes, the reality is there. There's no doubt. But there's also been changes in the world today. What can we do to change some of the challenges that we have, especially given the fact that we have 70% youth, and although Africa is rich, but yet still is poor? I know it's a heavily loaded question and statement that I just said.
Honestly, number one, I was going to chastise all of us to say it has been an all-male affair. Then suddenly, you shut my mouth when a lady appeared. And then you can see now when I was going to be talking for the ladies in the spirit of Beijing Convention, the lady is coming up with a loaded question that should take me at least another 1 hour to answer. And unfortunately, the network has been going on and off. All I could get is you want my take on what do we do to change the system? Why should we continue to be talking about colonialism, or it is not us that need to do the change, or what have you? If I get you right, I think we have had extensive conversation and argument between us on this subject matter.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
I'm sorry, the crux of my question is, you were once a youth, and now, and not just a youth, a male youth. And now you are a man who has achieved success with all the geopolitical landscape and changes that Africa has been going through, and to some extent still facing some of these challenges. Africa is the poorest yet the richest country, but our people are poor. What is your message for the youth? And that's, I think, the main core of my question. Given your level of success, how do we transform our continent so that we have a middle income continent, instead of saying today in 2026, we still poor, and then 2060 vision for the AU, we still end up being the poorest continent. How do we transform that within the next 15 years?
And just to let you know, she rescued stepchild. She's Joseph Boyka's stepchild too.
Proudly, but I'm
okay.
a citizen of Africa. Yes, and I'm proudly a rescued child.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, founder. I will answer you in somewhat an extremely simplistic analogy. Excuse me about that. There's a doctrine that says those who play at the two extreme ends of a value chain, they get the meager portion of the meat. What do we mean? You plot a value chain from point A to say B. Those who are playing closer to A, chances are they will be making negligible amount of profits. Those who are playing closer to B will also be making negligible amount of profit. But those who are playing from A to B, you know,
Yeah, we are trying with his internet.
What is going with Mr. Idris' internet?
Yeah, Mr. Idris is in Nigeria. When you're in Nigeria, a lot of things happen. Yeah.
He's not in Abuja.
Jackie,
Abuja.
know that. So the internet tripping.
But I want to say though, I think you see.
Yeah,
okay.
it's back. I was going to exit and connect again. So what am I trying to say? African countries in general, with the few exceptions, are operating at the two extreme ends of the value chain. What is the meaning? If you take our agricultural produce, are we processing them locally? Are we adding value? We are not. And I will give, you know, just one or two examples, particularly with my country, Nigeria. Let's look at 2-3 agricultural commodities: ginger, sesame seed, cashew nuts. We produce these items in abundance. Shame of us. Sesame seed is transported to India. The same thing is cashew nut is transported to India to be processed and value added, and then from India sold to global markets. Call it.
So you see, if somebody say, but Steno, you're not pronouncing the man name good. But man, you leave that one. The man name address, anyway, we met ticket. So let's just move on. You see the problem? He making my case, Jackie. Sesame seeds, charcoal nuts, all the peanut, you know, the grumpy we say in Liberia. Listen, we're taking it and sending it to India for processing, for packaging. We're doing it.
So
oh, you back? Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the farmer who produce the sesame seed or the ginger or cashew nuts gets small amount of money. The intermediary, you call him trader, who buys from the farmer and then sells to the Indian, get another small amount of money. Then the Indian who takes it to India, process it, gets larger profits. Give another example is crude oil. How on earth will an Angolan or a Nigerian be happy that the countries are producing or are blessed with crude oil? We explore, we drill the crude oil, take it to Singapore, refine it, and then bring petroleum products like diesel, PMS, kerosene, ATK, and what have you, and we sell. We need to be taken to psychiatric to be examined. Now, as long as you are playing at the two extreme ends of the value chain, you will remain perpetually poor. That is one aspect. The second aspect is generally we are corrupt. The level of corruption may differ from one level to another, from one country to another, but corruption is corruption. Speed money, incentives, call it anyhow. Most African countries are corrupt. You will say, okay, maybe I'm successful. I don't know if I am, but I happen to have been trained by the Americans. I've never worked for government. I'm not a contractor. All I know is I go to the market, buy low, sell high. I trade on the exchange. I bet on currencies. I bet on metals, and I make my living. And yes, I did attempt to be in government. It never happened. And you know, I keep my head cool, and I'm moving on with life. But generally, our leaders are our problems. Now I'll come back to CEO, my argument with him. Our leaders are our problems. I mean, we deserve better, we can do better, and we have every reason to be better. But then we are poor. We are poor.
All right, again, guys, we'll manage a beautiful conversation today. Listen, so Mr.
We can do better than what we are doing today. Africans have the capacity to propel Africa to growth. Africans have the capacity to mine and process our resources. Africans have every intellectual pedigree to succeed. But then sometimes you get subverted. Sometimes you get thwarted. Sometimes you get challenged. And believe you me sincerely, ladies and gentlemen, I will give you one serious example that happened to us recently in Nigeria. We wanted to buy certain arms and ammunition from the Americas. And those arms and ammunition were delayed for more than 7 years. Eventually, when they were sold to us so that we can fight Boko Haram menace, even the accessories that needed to be used so that we can use the equipment, they were not supplied to us. So the level of subversion knows no limit. I rest my case. I hope, madam, I have attempted to.
Thank you very much.
No, my second question, Senator. My second question for him. It's a simple one. Very simple one.
Go ahead, Jackie.
What was it, please?
I didn't get any clarification. Are you planning on going to Liberia anytime soon?
Oh, we asked that.
Am I what?
Are you planning on going to Liberia anytime soon? Sorry, I mean, forgive me because I wasn't on the show. I just wanted to know because I know you've been to Liberia before.
No. I mean, there's nothing to forgive you about. You see, for a person like me, you know, I travel every now and then. I'm as free as bird. The lady I spoke about earlier on, Ethel Kamara, she's one of the advisors to President Joseph. You know, she wanted us to visit Liberia and have conversations with the Investment Promotion Commission. Somehow we couldn't get that done. And right now, in the next 1-2 months, no trip to Liberia is on the agenda. But if the need arises, for example, next week, out of this conversation, let's say a minister in Liberia hears this conversation and say, hey, wait a minute, who is that crazy man, Mr. Idris, that you brought to your show? Bring him, let him come. As early as next week, I can pick my briefcase and move on. The only challenge is my eldest son will be getting married on 24th of January. So I may not be able to travel before then. But otherwise, you know, I can dash to Liberia at a very short notice.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, guys. We want to say, you know, you just coming back. We'll talk about Liberia. We want to talk about ECOWAS. We also want to ask you about the situation with Nigeria and what President Donald Trump did, bombing the terrorists, like he said, in your country. We also want to talk about, you talked about going back to Liberia, but you're coming back to my own argument I was making, right? Our own people, our own leaders, allowing the farmers, you know, to take the peanuts, the sesame seeds and everything as products, send it to other countries for packaging and processing, and then bring them back into Nigeria, into Africa, then selling it. And then we happy to say, yeah, made in India, made in, you know, China, and we happy to buy it though. But you've been around for a long time, Mr. Idris. You've been around for a long time. It's a good thing to learn from you. And thank you for coming home to my own argument that we are our own failure and not the Westerners. We are, not the American, not the European. I mean, today, Tinubu can tell us, no, I disagree. Today, Joseph Yima Boakai can put his foot down. Let me ask you real quick before we go to your friend and your brother, Emmanuel George. You know about Arthur Easy. How well do you know Arthur Easy from the Oranto group of companies? Something similar I want to bring up to you. Arthur Easy, do you know him? Okay, so we got internet problem again. I want to dive into this politics. I want us to go for the juice, and you know, for that Jackalope vein of Mr. Idris, right? You know, Arthur Easy, you know the business transaction. He talking about Itel Kamara, that's the niece of Joseph Yima Boakai, those groups from Nigeria that trying to buy Hotel Africa. You remember the situation that they're removing, breaking the homes down, Gibson? You remember? They're breaking the homes down, they say investor coming. She's and other people, she found herself in this restaurant business, and they are the group that coming to take over Hotel Africa, and that's why they're breaking all the homes down in District 17. So he's a very, very wealthy guy, like Jackie was saying. He got money. He worked with Dangote, you know, but something is missing. Kev Hassan, happy birthday. It's good to see you on the show. We hope you're having fun, Kefiko. You know, we hope that you don't enjoy your birthday in peace. We want to say happy birthday to you. But it's
happy birthday. I like your birthday suit, man. It's great.
It's something about this whole thing. Okay, he's back. Okay, he's back. So sir, we just want to hear you. Do you know Arthur Easy? Have you followed him? His relationship with Liberia, and they gave him the first set of All Blacks. Now they are giving him another full All Blacks again. What you say, business-wise? I mean, what can you tell us? I mean, you're one of the, you know, multi-million dollars guy in Nigeria also, as we learn.
What name did you say?
They call him Igwe Arthur Easy from the Oranto Oil Company.
Chief Arthur Easy.
Yeah. Do you have a relationship with him? Hello? Emmanuel, are you calling him? We see your hands here by Emmanuel. I think Emmanuel talking to him.
No, I can hear you now.
Okay. No, I'm asking you, do you have a relationship with Arthur Easy?
No, I don't have a relationship with him, Of course, he's an elder statesman. He's a Nigerian.
Okay. Amen. Amen. Emmanuel, your guest you brought on, he's very great, man. I like him. And I hope the internet bring itself on, man. Guessing that's a good conversation we're having. We're to dig deeper now, Emmanuel. Emmanuel telling the message, turn your internet off.
No, he's in Sokoto. He's all the way north in Nigeria. So
Sokoto don't get internet, Emmanuel?
He's in Sokoto.
I think the U.S. government bombed the place recently. The internet.
He up north in Sokoto is I think that's the credit.
So it's not in Abuja.
No, he's on a business trip. He actually from Kaduna. He has houses in Lagos and Abuja, but he's on a business trip to Sokoto.
And can you imagine when he said that they gave small loan, micro loan for $50? Then he said we should get out of this American mindset, but he gave me the poor people $50 US. Listen.
Emmanuel, are you Oga? You Oga? Are you Oga?
No, Kev. I worked in Nigeria for 13 years.
Also, you want to bring out your Nigeria. Also, you Ato Easy man too.
I don't know Ato Easy,
but I
know Alhaji Shriver, His Excellency.
No, I like him though. I like him. We send a shout out to. We send a shout out to.
He's highly knowledgeable.
He is.
He's not making any controversial comments so far.
And I want him to. That's why I want to push him. I want him to.
Why, Santa?
Huh?
Wow. If Jerome,
Jackie, that's the issue, right? We have a chief or Igwe from Nigeria. And you talking about controversial comment? He should, right? Now I'm seeing the reason why he's on the show. People are going to get vexed with me, Gibson. I think he might not want him to now support Mr. Cummings, right? I do. The man coming with money, he coming with influence, he coming with power. And I want to ask him.
You know the challenge? You know the challenge? Business people, the man keep saying it over and over on the show. I hope Emmanuel gets it. He said, we are capitalists. We don't put money in where there will be no profit return on our investment. So I rest my case over there.
So what you saying? Mr.
Jackie, wherever you're coming from, Jackie, you look very good.
Thank you, Jackie.
Wherever you be on vacation, I'm not going to go in France with you, but you look good. Thank you.
So the issue is that now, let me take it from the back. We have Mr. Idris back. Mr. Idris, so honestly, let's forget my last question. Are you with us? Is that okay now? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's happening with the internet connectivity in Sokoto? The governor, somebody got to do a better job, though. Right? What's going on with I thought we talked about Nigeria,
You see, this is again part of the challenge. You can just imagine. If Nigeria were to say we want to do nuclear energy so that we can have regular electricity supply, the next thing the United States of America will say, hell no, you can't have nuclear. Even when you are saying you are going to have it for peaceful purpose, they will say no. So these are some of the subterranean ways we are being thwarted from making any progress. Electricity is an issue in Nigeria. I mean, most part of the country don't get longer than 12 hours of electricity supply. I mean, it's that is the
now the bird singing.
I think the internet has just ended his program today.
I hope he can answer our last question. Are you with us, sir? Can you yell us now?
Yeah, I'm very much with you. I can hear you.
All right, let me ask the last question because we are losing you. Then we'll bring in Emmanuel George to take it away. But my question is though, Liberia have so many politicians, right? Have any one of the other politicians spoken to you that they need your support going into the 2029 election?
Well, yes and no. I can tell you a number of people in Liberia are fairly close to me. And, because I have played politics in Nigeria, because I have also, run organizations, a number of people do try to talk to me. One or two guys have reached out to say, "Oh, I'm considering elective position in Liberia. What will you advise?" And of course, I tell people politics anywhere is similar. The characteristics might be, in terms of differentiation, might be minor. A good friend of mine from Kenya, Phil Imo, did contest.
Let's be patient, guys. Maybe he will call Mr. Coleman's name. Let's be patient. Ivana, don't be scared, man. You're shaking too much.
Oh, he's not going to call Mr. Coleman's name. I can tell you that 100%.
Russell, Ivana shaking too much. Hey, man. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. We having a great time here, but the internet.
He must be in a remote part of.
Can you ask him if we can bring him back another time, Emmanuel, when he's home, maybe in Abuja, where the internet condition is better? But it's been a wonderful show. We appreciate the fact that he came on. I don't want to push this because we should be closing the show in a minute now. So I want to say thanks to all of you as we move on to the next conversation for the last section of this show. We'd like to say, man, today Nima beat Bonkante, beat Grand Cape County, but that just was a giveaway. And I think Grand Cape Man sold that game to Nima. That's my own position. I want to say to all of you again, let's do our own Liberia conversation here. I see coming on. We're going to just tell him to do his closing, then we can go and have a conversation in Liberia. Okay, there we are. Can we maybe we'll have to give you the time to close and then we'll reschedule because of the internet condition. Is that okay, sir?
He's still
Hello?
frozen. I wonder if he went out. Did he go out all the way out center and come back in?
Yeah, he went on the road. He bought a bottle of water. He came back home. You reconnected. But again, too bad. Emmanuel, please give him a call. And then we're going to stop here. And we hope to have him back when we have a better location, please. But it's good having him on. We do appreciate his time, Emmanuel. Thank you. We do appreciate his time. Sorry, Emmanuel, you never had the time to talk to your friend. You invited him. What you think? We still having problem, Emmanuel.
I think Maya trying to call him, but I wanted to ask you a question. Why do you think Kidman will sell the game? Is it because they want some money or they are just corrupt or what?
I say because they're giving more time to Nima County. That's my own view, though. It's not confirmed. It's because of they just want Nima County in the game. That's all. Because Lofa is not in the game. That's my own view. Nima County people don't they don't have a good team. They're really done. You could see the game. I watched the game from start to end in my sleep. I knew that they saw the game.
In your sleep?
In my sleep. So we're gonna win. But I think two countries gonna take this thing. Two countries gonna take this thing. Either River G or Cape Man gonna win the country meet, and we do believe that.
Who won last year, Stanton?
I think it was Lofa, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but lo-fi is up. I do believe it was lo-fi. You know. But Emmanuel, are we okay? Can we move on, sir?
Yes, I think the network is very bad over there, so I'm not.
The network is very bad, so we can't.
What town is he in?
Sokoto.
Sokoto.
Okay, so we're going to ask him again. We wish him well. Thank him for coming on. Guys, what's on your mind as we close the show? I mean, that's how far we can go. My man, today Saturday it's raining, it's cold. And Jackie, I don't know why you came on. Jackie only came on when she heard that the man supporting Jose Iman Parker, Kev Hassan, Jackie came on. If I any other person, Jackie was
it's Kev's birthday.
Oh, like Kev's birthday, so you came on? All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this real quick for our brother and Kev. You know, something amazing, right? That Kev's birthday, but he didn't pull here in wet. He pulled here in the woman that can give him the blue moon and cook his food. My God. This is, I've never seen this. Even I either put my own picture on, I alone, or I put my picture with my wife. So what between Kev and Maka? I know there's something. To tell you the truth. By the way, that your birthday is for your wife to tell us. Now, I mean, I can do anything. But guys, let's sing happy birthday song to Kev Hassan.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy age or that real age.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Kev Hassan.
Happy birthday to you.
May God bless you. May God bless you. Russell, you don't like Kev?
May God bless you, dear. Russell, you don't bless you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You refuse to sing, Russell. What happened?
We go be him in Minnesota. We be him in Minnesota, man. Best.
In your dreams. In your dreams. But my birthday was on Thanksgiving Day. You guys didn't sing me any happy birthday.
But then you show up on the show Thanksgiving Day.
Of course.
But then Santa, you didn't do right.
Jackie, they in Minnesota get different birthday than in Minnesota.
Look up.
The river ice is there.
We celebrated your birthday and we celebrated Wanto and Emmanuel George's birthday too. All right. If you think that we did it, Russell, happy birthday.
Man, I'm just messing.
But I'm serious. Why you couldn't sing for Kev Hassan? You got something
because I don't know how to sing.
Okay.
So Stanton Alhaji Idris said he's coming back on. He's connecting with his phone now.
Oh, great. Okay. That would be great.
Okay.
Let me say thank you.
Yeah, so what are you doing for their birthday, man?
Kev, I like that pseudo. Kev, you get blazed, Kev. You get blazed.
But Jackie was supposed to hang out. So what is your problem?
Kev went to American to drink Blue Moon and eat food. Yeah, if you want to see Kev, just go right to America.
That's true. Kev, our chief patron at that place.
Oh yeah, you guys share in that place, so you don't know.
My man.
Joey refused to go. Whenever Joey come to Washington D.C., Maryland, he's begging to go to America. And he say he trust America. He refused to go to the game. I don't know. And the guy used to go for him though.
What are the CDC place there? Why wouldn't he go?
The woman used to go for him. The woman used to go for him. Joey are scared of that place. By the way, I don't know why. But anyway, we get you and this coming back up. Oh, it's good to see you back on, sir. I'm sorry that we're having this issue, but ready we want to hear.
Thank you, CEO.
All right, so it's all you. We're not going to go further because we do not want to be interrupted again. Just do your close. So we hope we can reschedule you after your son's wedding. Come back again. Let's talk more about Africa.
I'm all ears.
But Santa, he talk for another 15 minutes. We got time.
Can you hear me?
Emmanuel has to ask him a question, right?
After 3 months, you just came back and you get time, you can't give her time. Emmanuel, take it away
Emmanuel
now.
has to ask him his question.
No. Before Emmanuel asks, I was asking my question.
Can you hear me? Can you?
I think it's about fair. I think it's about fair for him to get close.
No, Emmanuel will ask. No,
Emmanuel, ask him if he can hear us.
Yeah,
can you hear us? Question. I'm going to get a question to praise him.
Can you hear us, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, we're gonna bring in Emmanuel because we do not want to lose you. Emmanuel, you want to take it away, sir?
Yeah, Alhaji Idris. I mean, the major thing you
can speak Igbo, or you can speak your language you speak in Nigeria. You understand?
The major thing we came was to look at the African economy for 2025 and how do you see it in 2026? Because of what is the basic investment climate we should look
go ahead.
In 2026, what's the basic investment climate we should look at? What areas do you think we should think about investing in that will not cost a lot of money when you look at the African continent?
He cannot make it. In my question, put him farther away from us.
Emmanuel, I didn't get the question. The line got frozen.
Okay, maybe we'll just allow you to close because it will take you a while to answer that. So we'll take your closing comment and stand on. We will invite you after your son's wedding when you have time to come back, and maybe by that time you're out of be in the US or UK.
Well, my closing thoughts are basically 1, 2, 3. Number one, you guys are doing a good job. Keep it up. Is important that those of you that are living outside the continent of Africa, that you are still getting connected to what we call the motherland, like most Nigerians in diaspora call Nigeria the motherland. So, you guys should keep it up. Number two, also very important, we are having a German conversation, not just about, say, Liberia, talking about Africa in general, the continent, the black man or the black woman, or if you like, the black race, is also encouraging to note. And finally, I think, even though I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I also borrow from the Chelsea payoff line. Impossible is nothing. So when you write the word impossible, go to the beginning, cancel the I am, and then leave the possible. So to make Africa great, to make our continent great, to make our countries great, it's possible. And we will see it during our lifetime, even though some of us are a little old. I'm 64 now, so I'm aging, but I still believe very strongly that making Africa great is possible. George, regarding the question on the economies of Africa, indeed where to go this year. If you look at the world economy, it grew by about 2.83% last year, 2005. But quite a number of African countries grew slightly higher than 3%. Nigeria, Liberia, and a few other countries grew slightly larger. But again, some of this growth, one has to be careful. One has to interrogate the growth. What do I mean by interrogation? There is an adage, there are lies, there are damn lies, and there are statistics. Statistics can tell you a lot of stories. Sometimes are just BS, it's just bullshit. There is growth in Nigeria's economy, but at the same time, early this week, we were told that about 161 million Nigerians are living below the poverty line. And indeed, more and more Nigerians are becoming poorer and poorer. So economy is growing, Nigerians are getting poorer. So you ask yourself, wait a minute, like the American will say, what's going here? And then it's almost common across the length and breadth. For us, white collar laborers, middle level income earners, trying to earn a living and to have a bit of retirement savings, we should consider, as I always say, investing in stock markets. Nigeria's market, for example, grew by close about 59%. So if you had, say, invested $1 January last year, by January this year, that your $1 would have been $1.59. So would you have that kind of investment income if you say had invested in the US? And there are stocks that are, quality. The Dangote conversation we couldn't have, the 650,000 barrels refining capacity, plus a petrochemical, plus a fertilizer, processing plants are about to be offered in the Nigerian exchange. I will advise that those who might be in a position to put in some money, to be ready to put in some money. Every now and then, because I am ex-Dangote, I get, questions and invites from one or more people wanting to do business with Dangote. As we speak, a friend of mine who is an American but originally from Vietnam reached out to me to say, oh, Shuaibu, can we get fertilizer? We want to be buying 40,000 metric tons, at least 2 shiploads every month from Dangote. Another, American gentleman wanted us to see if we can get petroleum product to be sold to Thailand from Nigeria. So you could see, the opportunities around. Again, if you look at stock market performance, within Africa, there are about 3-5 stock markets that are vibrant and people are making money off them. The Nigerian exchange, the Tunisian exchange, the Egyptian exchange, the South African exchange, and to a limited degree, both Ghanaian exchange and Kenyan exchange are tied on that. In terms of global performance of stock exchanges, the African exchanges are not doing badly, in the sense that when you look at the 3 or 4 exchanges in the US, whether New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, or even the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or the London Stock Exchange, or the FTSE, or the Japanese exchange, or the French exchange, they are not doing better than the African exchanges when it comes to investment income. And I will largely and with all sense of modesty, a bit of sentiment and passion, if I have money to invest, I would rather invest in an African exchange than to say I want to buy a Japanese stock or a German stock that I will have little or next to nothing in terms of the information that I need from the companies. When you are dealing with Africa, you are dealing with home. You can see that I'm relating with a black man or a black woman.
Okay, I think that's where we're going to leave it at, right, Emmanuel? I think we want to be grateful to God for...
That's some important, critical information that he was giving right there. For
I didn't stop him. The internet stopped.
Yes. No, I understand. I'm saying with the internet.
Those are my few closing thoughts. Once again, I am most grateful. I sincerely thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn from you and for all of us to learn from one another. I do pray that we have another opportunity to exchange ideas, share knowledge, exchange knowledge, and talk about Liberia, talk about Nigeria, talk about Africa, and indeed talk about the world, particularly at a time when we are having the challenges of tariff as been always pronounced by President Donald Trump with America First policy, which none of us will fault. He wants America to be great. Who wouldn't want his country to be great? You know, we can say anything, but I think no president will want his country not to be great or even greater. Yes, there are better ways to do it, but you know, we are human beings, and like I keep saying, politics, economics, they are not pure science. They are social science, so they are science of alternative. It's not a chemistry class where H2O will give you water. So you can have multiplicity of ideas of how best to attend this or do that. Once again, I thank you very much, and may God in his infinite mercies bless all of us and spare our lives as we witness the beginning of this year to see its end in peace and unity and even beyond the end of the year. Once again, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you for taking out your time to be our guest tonight. We want to say we'll bring you back, and we wish your family well as they celebrate your son getting married to that beautiful lady. May God bless the union, may God bless them, and may God bless your household. Thank you for coming on, sir.
Amen. You are all invited to the wedding in Kaduna. Russell, you better come back. Come back home, Russell.
Thank you.
Jackie, you are also welcome.
Eshe and Odabo, that's all I know in Yoruba. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes. Odaro, not Odabo. Odaro, that is good night.
Odaro. But Eshe is said properly, right? Eshe.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Idris Nagode.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, sir. I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us. Thanks to Mr. Idris Shedu, Oga himself. Ogani, like Liberia, we say Ogane. You know, I wanted to ask him whether he was in Liberia during the wartime as one of the Ekuma Oga, but no, he wasn't. I want to say thanks to Mr. Idris, a great man. He availed himself tonight to have some serious conversation with us. Though the internet couldn't permit us to dig deeper, but we are grateful thus far. I want to say to all of you joining us, thank you very much. Let's close the show, guys. It's 6:06 04 p.m. here, 11 p.m. in Liberia. Today we can announce that Nima County beat Grand Cape Mount County, and but I believe that it was a good game. You know, I have my doubts, you know, but it is what it is. Football is like biscuit, right? But it's something about the county meet today. And I want to say this too. It's kind of like not too much of confusion and commotion. Am I the only person saying this? Honor D. Zoka Wilson, the man that plays soccer. Honor George Manawea, King George. We have this thing about the county meet that has so many confusion. Am I right, Russell? Or I'm just trying to start a conversation that would not be. And even today, Zoka Wilson blaming George Weah for the failure of of the Minister of Finance and LFA and all of them. Zoka said that, not me. I mean, something have changed. I'm not giving questions to Ko Bangalo yet, but something has changed, though. I mean, what's your take, Russell?
Okay. I think Minister Bangaloo is obviously doing a fabulous job, and but my question to you all, though, I think we all understand why the county meet is a thing, and why it is being promoted for national unity and all of that. But are we accomplishing that, though? I mean, are we? Because I've heard some people say that the county meet is having the reverse effect on Liberians and is perpetuating and promoting regionalism, tribalism, and all of that. I mean, what do you all think?
Yeah, but my question got to go around first. Then we come to your question.
Okay.
You see any changes?
No.
To
I've seen a lot of changes. I'm just talking about the professionalism that the current Ministry of Youth and Sports and how they are administering the county meet. And from what I saw this year too, they were going out into the hinterland, into the interior part of the country and having meets there and having preliminary matches there. I think there's a brilliant idea to take the county meet, to take football out, into the rural parts. I think that's a super brilliant idea. So the whole approach of inclusion, making sure that, folks are included, not everybody should come to Monrovia, let's go to them, have some of the preliminary games there. I think that's a brilliant idea. So what I see with this new administration, I'm talking about the folks who are now the stewards of our athletic and sporting apparatus. I see a strong degree of professionalism being exhibited. And I think they're doing a wonderful job, a fabulous job. And we just wish them well and give them kudos, continue doing a fabulous job and bringing people together.
So what was lacking? Another football player. No, let's have this conversation briefly, then we can go home. Let me come to Gibson. Gibson, I'm not the one that's saying that. Even Zoka wasn't blame, he throwing blame on Joe Weah and CDC government. We brought him on the show, and imagine, he played the game. He served as minister for 6 years. He said it was complete failure, no cooperation, no contribution, nothing coming from the president, a football king, a football maker, a football creator, the man that he served by African best, European best, world best, and all the best stature he has. But Zoka Wilson now played the soccer with him and served under his leadership. Said Joe Weah failed the nation when it came to football. But today, under a non-soccer president, that Joseph Yeban Boakai, we are saying something different. Let's hear you, Gibson.
I don't know what you're seeing different, but county meet has always been the same. It's always generated a lot of, interest, because it's obvious that everyone from each county will support his team or her team. And so that has been the kind of format in other countries. If you went to Ivory Coast, they got regional league, and we don't have regional league. We have county meet. They have regional league. So you go to Ghana, they have regional league. They don't have county. So these things happen. County teams are representing the regions, and they come to the capital. Some of them are on the premier team. Some of them are on the first division team. So it is I don't see something different that this sports team. First of all, Chris Stanton, if sports will be serious in Liberia, the first thing I want to see is the announcement of a budget for county meet. I don't know if any of you know about the budget for county meet, but I don't know. There must be an announcement that, hey, look, the county meet this year, the government of Liberia have put aside $3 million. This money is expected to increase the capacity of county meet and teams. We don't have a budget. So what they do is it's like spend as you go and come. That's how you're looking. In fact, I have serious problem with even some of the decisions that have been made by the sport department or the youth and sports. The suspension, the long suspension, 3 years, 6 years, all the decisions that they made, I got serious issue with. They are too long for you to suspend a player for 3 years, and you expect a player to still be a player. So those are concerns I have. But again, Zioka Wilson, I already said my piece with Zioka Wilson. Look, there are certain characters, certain individuals.
Okay, you call it that job, okay?
Yeah, I know. I already said. Listen, Stanton, I'll just say this right now. The character that George Weah has, very few people have it. Very, very few people. He bends over backwards to make friends, to help friends. And I can say that about you too, and myself. You know, we are 3 here that have that same character. We bend over backwards to help friends.
The member is saying that picture. Bible JC say myself.
So people like Zioka, and all the sports people, all the people that George Weah play with, they all have certain level of animosity, eating them from the inside, cropping them. George Weah versus Salisa. Salisa had no reason to go at George Weah against George Weah. He went against George Weah all out. Kevin Segway lied that George Weah security wanted to beat him in Buchanan. George Weah go all out to help his brothers. And what they do, Zioka Wilson, if you must say are friends and you gave me a position, Stanton, to be your station manager, and you are making decision that I think is not good, I will come to you, my man. Look, we come a long way. In fact, I have a proposal here that I want us to look at for us to improve sport in Liberia. Zioka Wilson got no proposal. He made no proposal. There is no new proposal that he's presented.
Zioka said he did. Zioka said he did. Zioka said he did.
We don't know. How can the media don't know?
I know because I spoke to Zioka. He said he did. He came on the show and said he did.
Stanton, if the man made proposal, we know that there's a budget of Liberia, right? There's a budget. We can go anywhere and see the budget. If there's a proposal that he made to George Weah, how come media people don't know about this? How much is in the proposal? What is a rudimentary step that he is proposing? How do we develop sports from the grassroots? How do we develop sports from the youth level, from the young adult level, from the adult level? How do we do that? Does he have that kind of proposal? I don't think so. Zioka Wilson is only saying maybe he just talked to George.
Well, you know, Zioka Wilson, but I said, though, that on the show, you said as Deputy Minister for Youth and Something Affairs, and he was right there. And people are blaming Asido for some of the failures also. What about
Asido? He would take some of the blame. He would take some of the blame. All the people that serve at the Ministry of Youth and Sport. Right now, Bangadi Cole, is he making proposal to Joseph Bagana for county meets?
I agree with you. We can ask Bangadu for the budget and how to get the money. The last time we saw that Freeport were contributing on a one-off basis to Bangadu for the team to go outside the country to play. You remember that? And the $476,000 that came in lately also. I mean, these are good things you are saying. You are quite correct.
Yeah. And Jeff, my 30 seconds for me to give others a chance. Cole Bangalo now will make himself a king of sports in Liberia if you develop a comprehensive there are a lot of soccer technicians. If you develop a comprehensive plan of how Liberia can leave the mediocre soccer position to a better soccer position. And he present that package to President Boakai with figures and methodology attached. We all will rush on there and say, President Boakai, please give it a look. But all they do is they go around, they add the ministers, they just sit down, count the meat count, they get small money, they go into it, and nothing. After they count the meat, there'll be nothing else, no development, nothing else, no improvement. We'll come back again next year, we'll see the country meet the same way it is looking now.
Thank you. Jackie, what say you? Jackie, can you hear us?
Oh, I have problem. Yeah, I have problem on muting. Stanton, sports, entertainment, those are things that are very, very important in society. So we all look forward to the county meet. I think personally, though, we as a country need to focus on other sports and keep the sports industry active throughout the year. If we're focusing on soccer this season, soccer is our national sport. So of course, throughout the year, we should have different type of tournaments. And then also focus on other things, you know, because Liberians, the youth, not everybody, a lot of people play soccer, but a lot of the youth also interested in other sports, whether it's track and field or tennis or what have you. I think we should bring more visibility throughout the entire 12 months of the year into different sports, be it basketball, track and field, tennis, and other sports that are out there. And so that we can also be participating in other sports on the African continent and even on the international scene. So I look forward to us making some of those changes.
Is your fire?
Yeah, it's for me. It just started making noise.
You gotta change your battery. You gotta change your battery.
I will. It just started making that noise.
You have one of the cheaper fire alarm because usually, you get it 10 years on that the battery will not go dead.
And what make you think this is not 10 years?
I don't think you better not play 10 years now. That if you're hearing that sound, it's like, anyway, let me leave you alone. You remember if you're in the apartment?
It just started, Center.
That's an interesting topic. What kind of fire extinguisher? What kind of fire stuff you get there?
But yes, so I look forward to
like let's talk about your fire alarm that going. Let's talk about your fire alarm that going off, Jackie.
Which one is that? Which brand is that?
It just started.
Which brand is that?
Not one from Walmart.
Oh Lord! Well, at least I still got a fire alarm, smoke alarm.
Well, fire gun, Jackie. That's where I go off. You hear me? Call you. Jackie, I'm sorry. I knew it was saying. I heard the thing. I said, well, "What's going on, Jackie?" But no, Jackie, they get one for $129. It's the 10 years on. The battery lasts for 10 years. Jackie,
okay, that my gift sent them from you.
$129, but I want you to get at $9.99. You can find it.
Look at you.
Hey,
just started.
No problem, Jackie. I just thought I'd remind you, please. When you come on the show next time, make sure you change it. We don't want to yell.
No, it will be changed tonight. It will be changed this evening.
Who going to change it for you, Jackie? Who you got to change it?
Who got?
Jackie.
Wait, Jackie. This is a serious. That's a serious question. That's a serious question, Jackie. Who do you have to change your fire? Jackie, who do you have to change your fire?
Jackie, who you got to change
your fire alarm? Mama, you are so smart.
Jackie, who going to change it?
Who going to change it?
It will be cheaper in the next hour. It will be cheaper in the next hour.
But Jackie, where you hiding? Who going to change it, Jackie?
Oh,
I don't know, but it will be changed.
Can you call the handyman?
I'm gonna move for that, man. Jackie Day says she can handle, man. Go ahead, man. Jackie, I'm sorry, though.
I just want to piggyback off of what Jackie said. I think the county meet program is a very good program. It contributes to unity in this country. Look, today I spent just a few minutes at the SKD, and it was such a sight to see. But I look forward to our sports program going beyond just a moment of entertainment, where when the games are happening, the cameras are on, all of the supporters and all of the officials of the government, everybody show up, they drink their beer, they drink their wine, they celebrate. And then when the games are over and the cameras are turned off, there's no program for continuity. There's no program for player development. By this time now, I believe that we should have reached a point where players are making progress from the county meet level to the national team level to international, and then coming back the way it happened in this country in the late, maybe in the May 80s, early 90s, when George Weah and the rest of the guys play football. But it's like something happened and we keep going back. We get to a point, then we'll go back down. And I want to agree with Gibson. He said that there should be a budget. This is something very important. It should be captured in the budget, and there should be a decent amount allocated for sports program in this country. For me, you know, as a sponsor of chess in this country, when I say sports, I'm not just talking about football. Football is a national game that we all pay good attention to, that makes us all happy. But games like chess and other games are unifying people in foreign country. People are making money on it. When it's time for Liberian players to go abroad, like last year they went to Budapest, you know, the players had to borrow money here and there to go and represent our flag. And when they're coming by, we contribute to go and pick them from the airport, and then that's the end of it. So I think that those who are making authority that are listening to this show now, they should consider, you know, cutting down costs in other places and providing money for sports in this country. I think sports is good for us. It really electrifies us, it unifies us. And this is not even a political statement. CDC people will agree with this. My junior brother Wanto, definitely, I hope you will agree with that. And the UP people, all the other guys, we can all agree to this. And I think we should advocate for sponsorship for sports in this country.
Thank you very much. We're going to hear from Wanto, and we're going to close up, man. This was a good, wonderful Saturday. We're grateful to God. So we're going to do this thing real quick, and then we're going to make progress to leave. Wanto, it's good having you, my friend.
Thank you so much, CEO. For my closing, I want to speak on a specific situation that has become a pattern. I'm very sure maybe, hopefully, we will talk more about it tomorrow. There's a certain situation that is very fascinating. And this situation as CEO is critical. We spoke a lot about state-owned enterprise. Today, which is specifically in January 10th, there's a circulating report that the LPRC managing director sponsor and refurbished Lokintown market. Half of the renovation done from his pocket. That's the news that's out. And then the 50% is directly from LPRC. September 7, 2025, the National Port Authority Managing Director Sekou Dougle constructed a mosque. He launched a project for the mosque centered around $25,000 USD. That also from MPA Social Corporate Responsibility. In April 4th, 2025, Deputy Minister of State Cornelia Kura unveiled a small business grant in District 13, distributing, $10,000 to traders and committed to another extra funds. So what we're seeing here is a very interesting pattern. Members of the Unity Party who campaign in specific location over the period of time, who could not afford initiatives that they are leading now, are leading mega financial initiatives using corporate funding for institutional lead for political purposes. And we will talk more about this, but this is an interesting pattern, especially from state-owned enterprise that are not contributing to the budget. And we have to be fair and honest about this situation. You cannot use public funds for political reasons, and you must be able to distribute your source of funding. This is a political party that speaks about integrity and the rule of law and ensuring fairness and accountability. The pattern in itself in modern state will call for investigation. And I think it's very unfortunate, and we must be able to speak to some of these things. But great show, and I'm hoping that we can be able to talk more about this, especially CEO, that these state-owned enterprises are not contributing to the budget, but they are using corporate funding specifically for political purposes. And it's a very interesting kind of scenario.
You know my position on it, and tomorrow we discuss it. Tomorrow we have in Samukai, the former defense minister, Samukai. He's coming on the show tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. We'll sit down and talk to him, and yes, indeed, we'll have also the discussion on the SOE and their contribution. Now, this is a corporate social fund, country social contribution. Who controls it? It's just the manager, the director, the minister. Who control it, right? When these guys are not contributing to the budget and they're coming up with spouting story. If it is true that LPRC managing director, Amos Twe, put in 500,000 Liberian dollars. You can find how much it is in US, right? And he built that marketplace. Was he right? Who oversees the spending of that money? Whose responsibility it is? Is he doing it for political gain? Remember that Amos Twe ran in District 15. Is he doing it to run again in District 15, 2029? Where did Sekou Doumbouya build the mobs? That's the question. 25,000 United States dollars. Is he doing it for political gain? Where about Madame Cry? Her contribution. Are these people doing it for political gain? So folks, let's understand ourselves. If it were bad yesterday, is it better today? I mean, who monitoring, who, police the police? That, who policing the police right now? Who are the people in place right now that can use the country money to their own pleasure and will for their own political gain? You want to join us tomorrow? Let's talk about it. And I would like to have a call Amos Twe and ask him also. Everything about Sekou, that he can use the money any which way, and the people will decide on that one. And also, we'll talk about the decentralization bill, how far you have come, whether the president has signed it. Asala Mita, well, it was sent to the House again. A lot of people receive money today, almost 37 of them, those lawmakers, they met today, between 37 and 44, having plans to say they don't want Speaker Richie Kun. They met today, they met on the riverfront today. Now they don't want Richie Kun to be their speaker, but people are saying they're just doing it for money. They want money. Is it true that they just come here, they want some Asala Mita money? Has the government given them some of that money? We'll discuss it more. But you see, that's the reason why I'm beating on the SOE thing, Russell. Because I know the money is not going to where it should be going. We have these guys then using the money to their own will and pleasure for their own political gain. And then we got to ask the question, is that what the president wants? Is that what Unity Party wants? But we should be fair though. Do they have the right to do these things as directors? What the law say? But overall, it will be an interesting show tomorrow. Come early. I know we don't have the kind of guests we have today, thanks to our friend Idris from Nigeria. But we have to discuss this issue because the mismanagement of public funds. That's more money. Almost $11 million came from Buchanan Port. Sekou said that Buchanan Port wasn't contributing. He said they have not contributed. He sat in front of the lawmaker and said they have not contributed, we got a claim. But you got almost $11 million came from Buchanan Port 2024 and 2025. How much did they give them back? Less than $3 million for compensation and operation, one rotten computer and one rotten pickup. Then where all the money gone?
Instead, I have a couple of clarifying questions.
Yes, sir.
One is that maybe Jackie or one of you seem to have done some research on this. Is it legal though? Because I know here in the US, I don't know what the situation is in Liberia. Is it legal to spend tax dollars on building fake institutions? So whether you're building a mosque or building a church or
that's
whatever.
the question I'm asking. If it's legal, if they can do it, that's the same question. And I'm saying we should go and ask question and come back tomorrow, Russell. That's the same question I'm asking. If it's legal.
Because I mean,
but Stan, I have a question for
Wait.
Can I talk?
So can I answer a question quick on the code of conduct? Because the law is clear as possible. The code of conduct specifically violates that act, and we'll talk more about it tomorrow. So the code of conduct here is one is public officials appointed by the president are prohibited from campaigning from contesting elected position for serving on campaign terms or using government resource facilitated to influence partisan political activity. So here is where you draw the analysis. The specific areas the project is being implemented are places they contested in the past. You know, Logantown is specifically.
Let's have a clear argument. No, when we want to. Listen. The code of conduct saying to contest, you're taking us different way. Let's stick with the money. Even if they ran within those districts before or those counties, like what Russell is saying, it's illegal to take the country money. Are they in the right legal mind, the right legal parameter to use the country money for? Hold on, T, for such a project. Now then we can look at the location of the project, right? So number one, let's find out whether they are wrong to use the funds for the project. Let's find out. I mean, that's a question we got to go back and find out. And listen, I'm just so tired with this. How you call it? The law that says you can't participate in politics, and it's too ambiguous for us, and people will play with it. But let me ask you, Jackie, what are you saying? Then we'll go to T.
So, Stanton, we do know that the state-owned enterprises do have corporate social responsibilities. And whether it's in this district or that community or this community, people throughout the entire year, especially around the holiday season where people got closing projects, they write all these SOEs all the time asking for different asking for different help for the various communities. So if this community, that community decide to write this entity and that entity, and the SOEs do have corporate social responsibility funds, are they supposed to turn their back on the very communities that are writing them to say, please help us with this market project, or please help us renovate this or that? I think we should look at it holistically. If something is going to the Liberian people, regardless of the district or the community is in, it's the Liberian people. And if that SOE does have a CSR budget, there are different budget lines for different things, and everybody knows that. And the budget for the various entities are not just approved by the head of that entity. The board also is. I mean,
Jackie, so Jackie, I agree with what you say.
Decision. Listen, let me finish. That budget also goes to the legislature that is signed into law for each
Jackie, that's why we are saying. That's why we are saying tomorrow. That's why we are saying tomorrow. We're going to sit and have this conversation. That's what we are saying. Because, and that's why you say I don't want to be too fast. And I do agree. That's something that we have to explore. You are quite correct. But again, if you want to put politics in there, like Gibson would totally disagree with you. Gibson would disagree with you. All right. What the law say? When Emma Stewart went out today, right? Can he show us in the budget and the money that was used today, or the money that was used to build the market, right? It was approved by the board. And that's what we are asking. Did Emma Stewart do this as Emma Stewart, or it was done as LPRC Managing Director Corporate Social Contribution to that district? These are the questions I said we'll reach out to these guys, especially to Emma Stewart, and then we have a conversation tomorrow.
If LPRC approves the funding for a market project, then that project was funded by LPRC, not the individual.
And listen,
and that's how it works.
You are
saying
if
goes and approve an SCR line item to fund maybe scholarship for 10 students. That's a NOCAL project. It's not a board project. It's not the head of NOCAL project. That's not how it works.
Again, what we are saying, Jackie, you're saying eighth, and we don't know, and you don't know. That's why you're saying eighth. And that's what I'm saying. We're going to ask the leader question, right? And I can say this to you. When NPA gave almost 75,000 to this thing, Ministry of Youth and Sport, we discussed it on the show, right? Because the coach needed payment and they gave payment. Does it work like that? The people need to be educated. I'm not against that it must work when they look into and build market. But the people need to understand how, why these things happen. Okay, so let's close with you and we'll go to T here because we can continue tomorrow, Gibson. What say you?
Yeah, but okay, before Gibson, no, because Jackie didn't she address one aspect of the question. So the corporate social responsibility is fine, but where does it end, Gibson? Does that, in as much as we agree that these corporations and these SOEs can do that, is there a policy or a law, especially against the separation of church and state, that you can use corporate social money to support and build a church or a mosque? I mean, can you do so? That's maybe Gibson, you can answer that.
Yeah, but let's continue tomorrow because we're totally against time. I beg you guys. T guys, wait, I beg you guys. Everybody will have the time. Let's just end it. It's 11:35 today, Saturday. I beg you. Tomorrow we can talk on it more. Come back again tomorrow, please. You see, these are the conversation. It's very broad. Let's just hear everybody take and we'll move on. Then we can ask the question tomorrow. Gibson, what say you? Let's start with you.
I seriously have a problem if Toy is saying 50% came from him as a contribution, as a personal contribution, is troubling. Even if he says the entire amount came from LPRC, it's also troubling because these people have not contributed to the national budget at all. How are they spending this money? What mechanism? Russell just asked a question. What is the ceiling? How much money can a social responsibility, how far can it go? How much money can they spend? What do we know? Can Toy tell us what did the LPRC Act? I read the LPRC Act. As a matter of fact, the LPRC Act is like an individual owned business. I read the whole act. I didn't see there where you say you have a corporate social responsibility and so you go you spend it to build market. Okay, and when we are discussing it tomorrow, I will bring portion of the act. Then and maybe I will just send it to Stanton. He can choose what he want to do. There is nothing there. The corporate social responsibility. So if it's there now, yesterday, if they put it there yesterday, we want to know. It seems with NPA, you get $8 million, you can't contribute to the national budget, but you can go and build mosques, and you say part of it is your money, part of it is NPA. What are you kidding me right now? We have problem with my guest saying if you say I steal the money, but when I build something for Liberian people, the thing is remaining here and Liberian people will enjoy it. We said, no, that's not the way it's supposed to be. We beat on him. Now you, Jackie, you are saying now, even if they take that money and build the market building, if the Liberian people will benefit from it. So when market is wrong, when it's right, is that how we're going to run our country? So I disagree completely.
I agree. Close saying this, I do agree. I think no, hold on, Jackie will come to you. Everybody will close. Hold on, Jackie. I think there's a problem here, and we'll discuss it more because this is running on social media. It's not only Amos Tway, right? It's all of them. We got to see something, folks. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. But let's get your closing on this, Winfred Russell. Forget the question. Let's close tomorrow. We can dig deeper in the Russell. What was your closing on this Amos Tway thing, please, sir?
No, I mean, like we said, we cannot go in depth. We will pause and put this in the parking lot until tomorrow, and then we reactivate it. So that'll be fine. But I mean, what was on my mind, were those two questions that I asked, and those two concerns. I mean, where do we draw the line? I mean, yes, you said, well, we have corporate social responsibility account and all of that. But is there a threshold? Is it to be used for any and everything and everywhere? I mean, so I mean, those are some of the concerns that I have, and I think the fact that NPA, we've been talking about this NPA issue and this managing director for a very, very long time. And he's not being able to significantly contribute to the budget, or not being able to contribute to the budget at all, not even significantly or not. But I mean, it seemed to be nobody is listening, and I mean, it's like he does whatever he wants to do. Nobody's being held accountable. I mean, so this level of impunity that seemed to exist at NPA and many of the other SOE, I mean, that is very, very troubling, Jackie. I mean, it's seriously troubling that these guys, I mean, they just run. I mean, they're like the new sheriff in town. They can do whatever they want to do. Nobody hold them accountable. So we need to talk about that. We need to find out how are they and why are they allowed to continue to spend the meager resources of the Liberian people, especially when they're hungry. They just spend the money willy-nilly. I mean,
Yeah.
so I would love to hear that.
Yeah, let me bring in T. T, let's hear you on this issue.
So my point, I kind of want to agree in part with what Wanto said. You know, this is a long-running problem in this country across so many different governments, and it's wrong. When you say that state-owned enterprises are not contributing as they should, and in part as a result of that, the Liberian people are struggling, they don't have many things that they need, then you cannot be saying, what do you say is personal money? Where and how did you get the personal money? For me, the appearance of impropriety is a serious issue, and perception, the people's perception. You cannot be in charge of institution that belongs to the people, and then you say there was no significant contribution. And for me, again, there is no one human being who is an employee of government that is so important enough for the government to appear to look bad across the board because of that one person. If somebody does not seem to act right, if there's a need for audit, call for audit. If the person cannot give proper account of what they have been entrusted with, get rid of them. That's political collateral. Let them go and let the government remain, and let the government begin to function in the direction that considers the interest of the people. There is no one director of any institution that is too important for this government to risk, you know, their bad name in this country and abroad. That is a serious concern. I know we got to close to talk about it. So tomorrow, let's delve into it some more.
Yeah, Jackie, let's hear you.
Okay, Stanton, first of all, I'm trying to understand how the topic about the Musk situation was affiliated with an SOE, particularly NPA. Do you know where that funding came from? Because it is my understanding that that funding had nothing to do with NPA regarding the Musk. But generally speaking,
let Jackie close. Stop interrupting my brother.
Okay. No, but people are putting information out here. We also have to question where they get their information as well. Just because they put it out here doesn't make it what actually happened. If LPRA, a letter was sent by the community to LPRA. First of all, the budget is prepared every year. It is approved the budget line for compensation to employees for corporate social responsibility. What?
It's LPRC.
LPRC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. LPRC. I thought that's what I said. So if there's a budget that's approved by the board, first of all, you got a budget committee. The head of entity doesn't prepare his own budget. It's done by a budget committee that goes to the board, senior management. They review it before it goes to finance ministry and before it goes to the lawmakers and to the president desk for it to become law. That's how budget processing works. A committee prepares the budget every single year for the said entity. Secondly, and when it comes to corporate social responsibility, there's a budget line. If it's 10,000, they're not to exceed that 10,000 for the year, but they can approve what they can decide what goes, how that corporate social responsibility is spent within that $10,000 budget line. Secondly, I want to say this. I don't know where the information came from, but my understanding is the Musk project came from a community, not from the port. It came from a community, a private funding, and not from the port. So whosoever put that information out there, I don't know why they are putting it out there and trying to affiliate that project with the port. It's not the port funding.
Thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you.
It's a total lie. So
Thank you very much, Jackie. Gibson, what's your question before we bring Isaac?
NPA had nothing to do with the mosque funding. Let me make that clear.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jackie. Gibson, what's your question?
Jackie, just a small question. The corporate social responsibility you are talking about and the preparation of budget for corporate social responsibility, don't you think is going to be part of the acts that created a corporation?
Say that one more time.
Don't you think the acts that created the corporation will have in there that says at certain time of the year, a budget committee that you say, I don't know what a budget committee can do it, but budget committee will put aside certain amount of money for corporate social responsibility to help communities. Don't you think it would be part of the law that created a company, or it's just something that they just woke up suing the money and said, this is our corporate social responsibility?
The budget assigned into law is law. That budget becomes law for that fiscal year. So whatever is in that budget, it is law once it's signed.
But LPRC is not in the budget. LPRC has no contribution in the budget. LPRC is completely out of the budget. It has no allocate, no contribution. So how do you think the corporate social responsibility is transmitted? Because the national budget does not say anything about the LPRC.
Okay,
anyway,
but the LPRC
we'll talk
has
about
a
that
budget,
tomorrow.
right? That's
So
a
tomorrow we'll talk about
right?
that, guys. Tomorrow we'll talk about that. Let me bring
I'm
in
giving
Isaac.
the general
Isaac, let's hear
overview of how. Wait, let me say something real quick. I'm giving the general overview of how the budget process works. A budget, people, when we're talking here, we're mentioning the head of entity and then we're mentioning the entity as though the head of entity is the one that makes all the financial decisions, and that is wrong. We should stop misleading the Liberian people. When a budget is prepared, whether it's by a ministry entity or by an SOE or whatever entity that's affiliated with public sector, they have a committee within that entity that prepares the budget. The senior management, if there's a board, they all together approve the budget. So let's stop misleading the public, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Once that budget is approved, it has to be implemented according to how that budget is approved during the course of the fiscal year.
Thank you. We'll continue tomorrow.
And if there's corporate social responsibility within that budget, they have to carry out their corporate social responsibility.
Thank you, Jackie, and we'll continue tomorrow. Asa, let's hear you.
Jackie, no matter how long you talk, it will not shield the hypocrisy from your face, Mama. No matter how long you talk.
No, let's talk about the issue. Don't talk about what
it's okay.
Hypocrisy or not.
Yeah, don't talk about face, my man. Don't talk about face. Let's talk about the issue.
Don't talk about that. Don't even go there. Talk about the issue, Isaac.
Remain this thing.
Be civil and talk about the issue.
Yeah,
you're not family talking about your face. So stop that.
So, Jackie, no matter how long you talk, you see the hypocrisy that is in your glasses, it will not change it.
So, as I have to take you out, man, the woman like that discuss the issue. You can't come here and won't be disrespectful to Jackie. You can't discuss the issue. If you can't discuss the issue, I have to take you out. But Jackie, let me say this to you. It is important for you to note, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, that everything we say here, it should have documentation. If Amos Tue and that of, how you call him, Sekou Dukle, and all the guys that runs the different SOE, carrying out a project, right? They should tell the Liberian people whether they are covered by law. If those projects are private projects, that's fine. If private individual contributing to those projects, that's fine. But we cannot sit on the show and say, oh, you know, no. It's only important for them to speak to it. It's troubling, Jackie. Don't blame opposition for taking the opposition stand. We did it to them. When we were opposition, we did it to them. Red Gibson, we beat on all of the different projects. We told Nathaniel Falo McGill that he buried money, millions of dollars in his mother, place there. So therefore, they are right to question us. But here's the issue, right? It must got to be clear. You cannot be contributing $799,000 to the government coffers And people say, oh, I get 50% of my own money, 50% of LPRC money. You just telling us, say, how you call it, Sekou Doucouré said a private project. Sekou Doucouré is lying. It wasn't a private. I'm saying it because I only Sekou Doucouré can put it. Because I only Sekou Doucouré can put it out there because he carry all the project, right, Gibson? Nobody else will put it out there because Sekou Doucouré know how you got the money. Let me say this.
Well, the community carry out the project.
The community didn't call you, Mama. Let's do that one. The problem here is that we have to be sincere and we're going to have a good conversation tomorrow because for the sake, for the sake of argument on this show, and thank you, Wanto, for bringing it up. I will keep that for tomorrow. It's a troubling time for our country that this SOBE cannot contribute to the national coffer, but yet instead of doing individual projects. And you know what, Jackie? What makes it so amazing and interesting? Only in this county or the district they are interested in to run 2029. Those are the places they are contributing, Gibson. This April 12 run, he ran in district number 15. Gibson, he ran. So he went back there now to start doing good. Maybe he want to run again. Sekou want to run in Bombing. So he contributed in Bombing. Ain't nobody stupid. Come on, man. But till we meet again, Nelson come on the show. We'll have a great one tomorrow. Don't forget, we got Samuka coming in. Former Defense Minister Samuka is coming in. And Jackie, I take that back. If anybody talk about your local, you're the most beautiful woman on this earth, apart from my wife, my sister, my children, my mother. You can't distant 100 because you know I gotta take my wife and my family first. Yeah, man, Gibson. Nobody gonna say that you get hypocrisy on your face. I read it. I don't like that. You don't. You just speak what you believe in, and you speak truth to your own belief. And I do appreciate you on this show. Nelson, you want to come on? It was a great show, and we want to say thanks to all of you. We do appreciate your time tonight. Till we meet again tomorrow, one-on-one with the CEO. But the guys will be on though with the former Defense Minister. Now, here's the thing about the former Defense Minister. He going to run, but Jackie, are you guys carrying him? Are you what the way you think? I think fire is
I don't think they were carrying CEO, but I'm ready.
I don't think so. It's gonna be too interesting tomorrow.
Rani Samuka is part of the rescue team.
Then why didn't get a man job yet? Because he has a man job yet. It's been 2 years now, 3 years. He didn't get a man job yet. He said
I sent you the Sekou Doucouré story.
Yeah, I got it.
His own ambition, and he.
I got it. We're talking about it.
I refuse to comment on this situation because tomorrow will be a heated conversation.
Tomorrow will be, but I want to say thanks to all of you. My brother T. Wanokai is working on something I will now say. Maybe I can talk to my
stop that. No. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Guess what kind of man is? The man I will tell his secret, then you can't tell me his secret. Then he said, "Don't do it."
Are you serious, man? If you do that, no, man, don't do that. Don't do that thing.
I didn't say anything. I just said you will come back again and tell me a secret.
Don't do that, man.
Hey,
you got something you want. You know that one. I got something you want.
See,
okay.
Who wants something from you? You better leave me alone.
All right,
my man, when you ask me for something, you forgot?
I asked you for nothing. I'll tell you a secret.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Get it. If man apologize for saying I asked him for something, I will tell you a secret tonight. So I apologize.
You already.
I mean, that to escape the disgrace.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody will believe it. Right or nobody will believe it.
Thank you. It's good seeing you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you very
much. Thank you very much, Jackie. It's good seeing you, my sister. Thank you. Want to go to call again, my man. I guess him a call. She waiting for that call. That late night call.
All right, see you.
That's it. Thank you, man. Thank you for holding it down. Nema County won, and again, I think they saw that game, Nelson. But Nelson, I said waiting for the annual financial report, my man. What are you doing to me, Nelson? So everything left in fly.
Oh, we uncles. We uncles.
We uncle every day. I see nothing. Whole day we uncle, my man. How you treat me, man? Okay.
Sometimes compiling the report there will have to be accuracy.
So you call it international community to do the editing and the auditing,
No,
the editing, the cross-check.
But we just want to make sure the report is accurate.
Voila, you finish eating all that money, man. Move from there. See you later, guys. So thank you for a beautiful show. We see you guys tomorrow by God's grace. Yeah.
Okay, sir. You too. Bye-bye. Well, folks, thank you for being here with us. It's been a good show. The invitation is just to join us on Monday for Spoon Talk. But still, you can join us tomorrow for one-on-one with the CEO. It's going to be a great show. You just saw the flyer. A former Defense Minister, Bernie Samukai, will be the guest tomorrow. It's going to be a firing conversation. You can make up time to join the show. Until then, I'm Nelson Colette. Have a good night. And Telvin Payne, Lincoln Morris, Philip Bala, Rice Liberia, JC, our liar. Yeah. All of you joining us tonight. We want to say thanks for joining us on Spoon Talk. Elston, we say it's been long. Good to see you joining us. Mr. Liberia, thanks for being here tonight. I see Willie at home. Thanks for being here as well, ma'am. Yes, join us tomorrow. Until then, have a good night and bye for now.
Yes, sir. A special one.